Ah, fuck, hold on.
Hey, you know what always cheers you up? Baking me a nice tray of sugar cookies.
How about these cookies, sugar?
We didn't have a message when we left. Oh, very odd.
And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and get real high and I think to the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog, boogie boogie hedgehog.
Hello, welcome to Creative Block. Oh my god, Fillion, what is happening? What is
Hello.
the blessing you are bestowing?
Aww.
It's a little boogie hedgehog.
Does this relate to you wanting a mailing address?
No, I'm not going to send this to you.
What? It's not allowed. You have to.
No, I've had this for years.
I've just send Jake a hedgehog.
I've had this for years, right over here, and forgot to ever show it off on stream.
You've only just now tried it, like a year in at least.
No, I've had this for like over 10 years.
No, you only just decided to show it off now.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see the hedgehog plush that Irene got me in Colombia? And then I showed the one my sister got. Hold on.
That one was so cute. I broke into a store to buy it.
You did?
Just kidding. It was we were waiting for a flight, and like it was late, so everything in the airport was closing down. And I'm like, wait, this store? There's a hedgehog there. Let me in. I must buy this.
No. The true story is she didn't get it, and she took a photo of it, and then she was like, there's this cute hedgehog over there. And I was like, where? Why did
you buy it?
Why didn't you get it? And then the place was closing, so she had to ask to be like sneak in.
Oh wow.
Great.
Timing, huh?
Beautiful.
He's pressuring me to buy a toy for him.
I do love the slight pressuring. Why didn't you get it? I mean, come on.
It's like, well, what's wrong with you?
My nan always says, like, oh, I saw this lovely whatever it is, and I thought about getting it. I'm like, Nan, you could have got it. Like, I saw this lovely shirt in so-and-so shop, and I thought you would have just loved it. I'm like, well, then why didn't you get it?
Oh, yeah, it's like when people message you, this made me think of you. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. That's completely useless information.
Yeah, it's like, buy it for me.
It's the thought that counts, Jay.
Shit. No, it's not. Spending money that counts.
But yes, welcome. It is Creative Block. Michael Rushbrook was first today. The first of firsts. His first.
Hello.
What's up, Michael?
Yeah, Phil was like 2 a.m. on the ball straight away, checking out the stream, checking to see if mistakes were made.
Yeah, I saw that today.
I did forget that this computer is still on America time, so I put it up for the time it would be for me, but for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is not going to be tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. It is today morning for me.
It's now.
It's now. It's happening right now. And today I have prepared a presentation.
What?
Late gas.
It's not like a
What?
full-on annotated slideshow. I'm trying to play it loose.
Nice.
My ethos, my directive, my Gestalt philosophy for today's presentation is make a present. I'm usually good at reacting to other people's, but I'm really bad at presenting my own. So what if I make a presentation that to me feels like someone else did it?
Oh.
And then I can like try and engage the same parts of my brain that I usually do on other people's shows. It's very experimental.
So is this presentation going to be in an American accent?
Boy howdy, yeehaw, yes. So
you now have to read the whole thing in an American accent.
There's no text. There's not a single bit of text
Ooh.
on the whole.
What? Okay, you have to
Alright,
present it
cool.
in American accent. My point stands.
It's textless. Romy is here. Camel was 7th. Alex VRB in the he's boogieing up. He was boogieing early. He was preemptive.
Hell yeah.
He tries to get it in whilst it's going, and like sometimes.
Hello, everybody.
Late. Cam is here. Welcome, Cam.
Yo, Cam.
Coleman Jet says, auction meh, I never buy anything. Yes, tonight there is also a special side piece, an auction that will begin in like half an hour on eBay. There is a pin link. I thought, why not try my best to monetize the show?
Nice.
But yeah, it was the Red Valkyrie auction, and I had some leftover pieces that there wasn't enough rounds because I had like 5 pieces. So here is a preview. I
can't believe you didn't auction that. But well, that'll probably do well on eBay. So
people crave the DD.
Yes.
And this is the first DD piece.
Look at that.
It's a very
hubba.
Yeah, Bancroft says the piece being auctioned is cursed. Are you just there's no what curse? Are you talking about just the level of nudity?
Curse of the nipples.
Yeah, the curse of the nipples. There's not a single nipple on display.
You gotta understand, Bancroft. He's anti-nippite. You know.
I mean, well, Bancroft, you'll be safe in the knowledge that there is not a single nipple on this art piece. Yeah, TC says, "Give us DD." Okay, TC. in like half an hour, it'll go live, and you'll be able to see the DD piece in all its glory because the image will. Well, it's been on Twitter, but whatever. Jake, check what mic you're using. Oh God,
you sound fine to me.
Yeah.
No, Alex, your ears. Oh my God,
better than ours.
Okay, I've now switched to my proper mic. Is this better?
You sound worse.
And not really.
I sound. Phil, do you confirm sounding worse?
It's negligible. You sound slightly different.
Okay. There you go, Alex. We're over to the usual mic. How dare you call Dee Dee a side piece? She is a main dish. Well, the dish is fully served on the piece, but we'll get to that. Are you doing roleplay tonight? Impactful presentation. I'm hoping it's impactful. You know, less is more.
The end.
Yeah, there we go. It's done. Well, you know, as always, we spend at least 2 hours talking about our weeks.
Yes.
So, has anyone had a week? Did anyone?
I burned the top of my mouth yesterday, and I got a blister on the top of my mouth. I'm pretty bummed.
How'd you do that?
Is it visible?
Show us.
No, I think it healed. I think your mouth heals faster than other parts of your body.
Wow.
So it's still a little sore, but it's because I microwaved something and I should have let it cool down, and for some stupid reason I didn't, and then burned my mouth.
Wow.
What was it?
Savory? What did you microwave?
I think it was a taco of some sort. Yeah, it was a corn tortilla with baked beans.
Was it?
What?
Oh no!
What?
He's a bean fanatic. I'm not gonna say the bean. He's mad for the bean.
Beans?
Yeah.
You know,
It was the beans that did it. They got too hot.
Yeah.
My microwave, it heated it up, not even like, that was the problem too, like not even. So like it was cold. The tortilla was still cold, so I grab it, take a bite, but it heated one little section super hot. And it was like planting as a trap, planting a bomb in my mouth kind of.
You need a
Yeah.
better microwave.
Yeah.
Trading mine.
You need some
There's
steak.
got to be a more all-encompassing way of like reheating food. The microwave is great, but look, we all know it has patchy results. I'm thinking, is it possible to maybe put such foods in kind of like a plastic bag, and then lower the plastic bag into some kind of heated water? And would this?
Yeah. They call that sous vide. Have you heard of that?
No, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that already exists.
My microwave and oven have been broken. It's been great, and it's actually been good because I grew up without a microwave, and because people in Asia don't really use. Well, it depends. Older people don't use microwaves. And like my grandma, and my mom would heat stuff using steaming or just on the skillet, and food is better that way. I think it's better to cook that way and not just microwave everything. So try that.
Skillet food
Are
is
you
better.
just trying to get
I
rid of
highly
your mic?
recommend breaking your microwave. Sorry. Everybody knows.
Yeah. My brother and his wife don't have one, and I'm like, that's the way to go. But nevertheless,
Well,
Yeah, sous vide is like this French contraption, and it's from cooking meats, I guess. You put the meats in a plastic bag and put it in boiling water.
yeah, that makes sense.
Contains all the juices. Cecil was talking about it a few years ago. He started doing that when he was getting in shape again.
You need the sack dip. Everyone's thought instead of putting your
It sounds gross to me.
sack in the microwave, dip the sack.
I mean, if you put it that way, that's funny because the opposite. My grandparents did the opposite to keep food cool because their old ass house used to not have a fridge, so they would tie food up in a plastic bag and dunk it into a well by a rope because they had a well in their kitchen. It was kind of cool.
Crazy. In their kitchen?
Yeah, they have like a countertop well.
How far down did this well go?
Wow.
I don't know.
and is this in like the backwoods of China? Where is this?
It's Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Their house was built
Chongqing.
in like the 60s, maybe
1500s.
50s.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
No, well,
Maybe.
Asia industrialized super quickly, so it basically went from agricultural in the 50s to like computer chips now. So that's why things are so weird.
You know, there is a cool thing where it's like, oh, we're from the West, then there's Asian countries that are cool to us, and then I guess to some Easterners, America is kind of cool, I guess, to them.
Right.
But like, so if you went to some old house that was like run down and stuff and had like a kitchen from like 40 years ago, you'd be like, fuck, man, I need to update that shit. But if you went to like an Asian country and there was like an old apartment with like ancient like Japanese or Chinese kitchen, you'd be like, this is so cool, I'm never updating this. It's like a movie set.
No, I love that. I love old stuff. Even janky old houses here, like, if I could own like a really well-built historic home that's like 100, 200 years old. Not many of those in the States, but those are the best.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have houses? Isn't Taiwan one of those countries with houses where it's like a big circle?
It's not a country thing.
House.
It's an ethnicity thing. It's those houses are built by Hakka people, which I am indeed Hakka. Yes, but we don't have the circle houses. It's a specific region of China where. What did he say?
Akatua?
Thank you for
Akatua?
kicking him for that.
He made
Okay, let
the
me
best
continue.
joke of all jokes. The
Worst
only-
joke. Okay, I must continue with my useless ethnic knowledge. So it's only one region of China where Hakka people build the roundhouses. In the rest of China and in Taiwan, they build it's like still an enclosed fort kind of thing, but they're square. So it's like long, like imagine 3 rectangles all linked in a square and then a wall on the other edge. So it's
Yeah. For
walled off.
the normal people in the audience, imagine one of the video games where you're in Asia and you run around on the roof of a house and the whole house is a square.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
That makes
all these. It's like old
It's
cultures
kinda
from
like-
all over the world. People understood make house in a circle. Like we had round. They were literally called roundhouses in England. We had the English
Yeah.
roundhouse,
It's because
Way back.
Round Eye made them.
and then they produced a round head.
Then is in the middle like the eye of the
Round
donut?
eye.
Is that like the vineyard or whatever?
Yeah, what's in the middle? Just like a Zen garden, or is it useful?
Just the courtyard. They like there's usually they usually like dry rice and dry vegetables or some shit. I don't know. They just do stuff. It's not as fancy. It's kind of like some Roman houses were these enclosed squares, but they actually were nice. Like they would have fountains and shit in the middle. We don't do that.
Oh yeah.
We don't have nice things. We're
Like
just
villas,
here's the
villas in
rice
Mexico,
courtyard.
right? They have the little courtyard in the center.
Yeah, a center courtyard. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we need to go back to the old roundhouse method. I guess the Americans skipped the roundhouse because they started their country like 2 years ago.
They have that
Yeah.
design in America, but it's like the projects. It's like low income housing will be a big square of apartments, and in the middle is a giant courtyard with a sandbox.
Ah,
We need to do the sphere house, where everything's spherical.
yeah.
I think there are some like weird
Spherical.
Airbnbs that are just a fucking ball in the woods.
Bill, how many people do you think get that fucking drinking job?
I'm glad you do.
No. I didn't get that joke at all.
Miracle!
No,
I
no
only
one in
know
our
that.
audience because they're all over 35.
Like
It
Bubble
is not
Boy?
Star
Or what?
Wars or Batman. I do not get it.
I don't get it either.
You go, look, Romus is like the Romans. Yeah, the classic. Even the Simpsons lived in a roundhouse. You know how that house is in a big circle, and then
What?
there's the
What?
mystical steps to the basement that changes all the time.
Wait, is that a thing? There's continuity errors in the basement.
Yeah, that's the famous thing about the Simpsons house is there's just continuity errors, things move around, and there's rooms that disappear. Family Guy even copied the weird room that no one ever goes in thing from The Simpsons. The Simpsons has the rumpus room where Homer's on like a beanbag for one episode, and it looks like a Maggie bedroom. And then
Really?
like,
What is that?
have you not?
Pull
Do
it
you
up.
not know of this rumpus? Okay, wait. Simpson. We will
You
get
got-
to the rest of it.
You got the front room, which is the room with the window in it that Homer shoots Marge with the makeup shotgun in.
Yeah, they're all in the circle.
Then you have the family room, which I would call the family room. So that's where the TV's at.
Mm-hmm. Hold on. Is this in
Kitchen.
the right thing? Present Simpsons Mysteries. Let's skip to the one frame that I want.
Yeah, they almost never go in the basement, huh?
No, they do. The giant tiki heads under there. Mr. Burns bought them as a make good once.
The door to the basement is in the kitchen,
There you go.
right?
Bill, is this room? What room's that, Bill?
Where the hell is that?
Yeah, that's this. Where is this room? This is the rumpus room. Look, there's like an XO noughts and crosses. There's a crusty thing.
Yeah, it's like a playroom or something. That's crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I'm sure I have, but
Then Family Guy, they stole even the concept of the room that no one knows what it is. Let's see. Going over the Family Guy wiki, where I go every day. I'm always on the Family Guy wiki, hitting it up.
Are they still making that show?
They are, apparently.
It's crazy.
And it's as good as it's always. I think it's actually more consistent in its humor than The Simpsons is, but what isn't? I think Family Guy is probably more consistent than even South Park. Look, what's this room?
That's
that's what we would call. What would we call that?
Sunroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one ever goes in there. What even happens in this room?
Right.
That's like a very southern thing.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's like an addition. Enclosed porch, basically, Henry. Yeah. Sunroom, screen and porch. Yeah, sunroom.
Gazebo. No, I know what type of room it is. It's just nothing ever happens in there. Same way that. Anyway. Does anyone else had a week?
Had a week. Yeah, work done.
I've had a week.
The end.
I've had a week. What do you want to know about it, Jake?
This is the How is your week segment. What is going on?
Nobody wants to talk about their week for once. Oh my god, what's happening?
What did I do this week? Oh, it was the auction. I've avoided doing taxes. I definitely need to do them this weekend. Phil.
Yeah.
How into when you were a young babbo, what were your favorite video game?
The one?
Yeah, the one video game. Phil, you live in the land of video games, so like this is perfect for you.
I mean, it's different throughout the decades. Like I had the Sega Genesis. I played the hell out of Mortal Kombat.
Phil was a pro gamer. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
Oh.
He battled it out in the gaming.
Was it Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge on the Sega Genesis was pretty dope. I can never get really far on it, but the music in that is so sick. I played the hell out of something that I played consistently for years with other people back when split screen gaming was a thing. Red Dead Revolver, which is the predecessor to Red Dead Redemption that no one ever has heard of.
What console was that on?
It was on the original Xbox and probably like PlayStation 2 or whatever.
Well, I don't think the device that I obtained this week could play that, but it might be able to play another favorite of yours. Check this out. This is what I got this week.
Vector Man? Does it play Vector Man?
I don't know what Vector Man is, but did that have special? Was that an actual Vector Tube game thing? So probably not.
No, it's not Vector. It's just named just Vector Man. It's a Genesis game, so that could probably play it. Yeah, that's awesome.
I got this week, so I've been like doing nothing but just playing freaking Sonic 3, like some of the Quantum Gemma.
I've seen they advertise that on Twitter. I think. Yeah. Did you just buy it off of Twitter?
He's a sucker.
Oh, no. So there's like 10 million of these things. There's so many of them. And
yeah, because I would buy it, but I'm like, it's a scam.
Yeah, it's from China.
So the one that you probably got advertised to on Twitter probably is a scam, but there are some really, really good ones, and they're surprisingly cheap. So, like, if you actually want, this is a Miu Mini, and this is it's the Miu Mini Plus, and there's like a smaller one. But yeah, you should get one if you want to play the old olds.
$100?
I think it's like $50.
$100.
Oh, that's not even that bad.
50. It's between 50 and 100.
Yeah,
that's cool. Does it have Sonic and Knuckles?
Stealing Vaughn's bit. Is Vaughn moving in on the Sonic?
Yeah, that's all he does. He just streams Sonic all day.
It is a good game, especially Sonic 3. Damn it, Jake. Wasn't the SNES actually only 12 megabytes, not like 16? Yeah, 16-bit blast processing, right? That was the Mega Drive's spiel.
Hmm.
The Genesis was the best because it had the best music and could hold the best music, the most complex music. So good.
Yeah, Sega did what Nintendo don't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah. Other than
So
that,
that sounds like a good week, Jake.
it was very fun indeed. It was a good week. But
I got some comics in the mail. Shelby's in the chat. He sent me some comics, sketchbook, art book stuff. They're on my kitchen table, though. I went to my parents and got the season 2 box set DVD of Miami Vice. I'm going to be binging the hell out of that because I'm writing Magic Cop 3.
You're getting in the zone for Magic Cup. So because of you and Brandon talking about Flash FM from
yeah.
I've been listening to all the radio stations from
Vice City,
the Miami whatever Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's hilarious. They do like spoof comedy commercials. They're really funny. We should listen to Flash FM. I've been listening to that at the gym. I got the variant cover for Psycho Slumber in, so I've been setting up the Indiegogo for that to drop soon in a couple weeks, and then also tinkering with Kickstarter stuff with Adam for that. So that's gonna be sick. Got a bunch of new colors in with 12 pages left to color on the book, and making shorts. So been doing a lot of stuff, and then work's been busy as well.
Are you fully committing to the shorts, Phil?
I guess so.
Oh my god! Everyone, keep your eyes on Phil's shorts. I know today Minecraft was streaming, and in the chat you were like, "I wish Jake paid attention to my shorts." I pay attention to your shorts, Phil. I'm always scoping them out. The other day I was like, "Man, Phil got a short over 1K."
Yep.
And then I'm like, I delved deep into your shorts as deep as I could.
Yeah.
I noticed you have quite a few that have pretty good views.
Yeah, hopefully when that new X-Men season comes out, we'll capitalize on that too. But it'll be interesting to see, like, when that happens, will my old X-Men shorts get bumps, and stuff like that.
There is a secret trick. If you go back to one of those old shorts and maybe change the name, just as an experiment, try changing the name. Sometimes it tricks the algorithm into thinking, "Oh, this is new. I'll just boost this again."
That's smart. Yeah, I could play around with that. Yeah, it is very experimental right now. But I like what Michael's doing, where he's doing a short on a book and then streaming about it and then clipping his stream into a video. That's weird because I thought of that actually a few weeks ago, and then he started doing it. So
these ideas are just floating around, Phil.
I know. Yeah, it might be something I look into. But this weekend, I'm going to lock myself in this room and then write a bunch of Magic up as well.
Nice.
So I'm excited.
Nice. Are you gonna write off into the future with it, or just the next installment?
The next installment, because the way that those books are paced and structured is you could read them self-contained. They're like one episode of a crime show, and the previous stories do have weight going forward. The characters, develop, but it's, different crime has happened, a new villain or crime boss or whatever. And they're 4 issues in one volume. So, 24 pages each. So it's like an arc within itself. So the whole thing about this is like nailing down the structure, and it's almost like a 3-act structure within it too. Because like those Miami Vice episodes are like films for TV. It's crazy. It's like, an hour and a 15-minute movie that they were filming every week, which is insane. So really trying to nail that down with this one. Be fun though.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Thanks, man.
Actually, you know what? Let me pull
chicken butt.
Are you getting excited for the release of Vatican City Pass?
Yes. April 9th.
I gotta call my comic shop.
Like, I keep staying awake until like 8 in the morning, and I think the comic shop here opens at 10, and I always mean to call them, but then I fall asleep before they.
And then you sleep until 8 p.m.
Yeah, then I sleep until 8 p.m.
And then they're closed.
Yeah, it's a small one-guy comic shop. I don't think he stays open all the way till 8 p.m. It's like they open at 10, he probably leaves at 4.
Damn.
Diamond went out of business. I don't know what that means. If it's
No, they didn't go out of business. They went They filed for bankruptcy, which anybody could do.
Does that mean they can write off a bunch of debt?
How is that super different?
Someone.
I'm actually not sure. I know it's different, but I actually don't really know how.
Well, if you go bankrupt, you can still have your assets, I suppose.
It's different types of fucked. They're still fucked.
Yeah.
Let's see. Should I ask Grok?
Yeah, ask Grok. How bad be bankruptcy? How many times?
How bad bankrupt B is?
Hasn't Donald Trump been bankrupt like 50 million times? And he's going to be
Oh
president.
yeah.
I mean,
I've heard people that he's been bankrupt 60
McFarlane filed for bankruptcy, did he not? In the 2000s?
Oh.
Didn't Marvel?
So what does that mean? That doesn't mean you're done for? That just means you have no money? Like, what's the difference?
Does it mean when a company files for Chapter 11?
Yeah. I genuinely think it's just a writing off debt thing. Like,
so you can just write off debt and be like, we're not paying it back?
Oopsie, got
Yeah,
no
they
money.
did say that. I saw one video on it, and they said like Scholastic or whatever. I think it was Scholastic. Oh, like had the biggest debt that Diamond owed them, and it was $9 million. And so I think that might mean that Scholastic won't work with Diamond anymore because they're mad, kind of. So Diamond, they're like, they're still in business supposedly, but they also lost all their biggest clients because they went bankrupt.
So Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it means they are seeking protection from their creditors while they reorganize their business. It is seen as a tool for business preservation, aiming to save jobs, maintain market presence, and preserve values for stakeholders rather than simply liquidating assets. However, it is a complex and often lengthy process that requires strategic financial and legal planning.
So they're still in the game.
Yeah. So they're like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And then they're going to try to reassess the situation. Instead of having to pay all their debts.
Well, cool.
All right.
Good for them. Wait, so Scholastic would... Sorry, because you said Scholastic, I watched a documentary about Bone, and it's like, it was the whole thing was like, what is the slice of the pie of all the money that comics are making? And it was like there was this one huge slice, and it was like just Bone sales.
Yeah, Bone just has all the money.
Yeah, Bone is super. I don't even really understand how, but that.
Actually, in that documentary, I didn't finish it, but they said what started it too was the guy who made Bone. I kind of forget his name, but Jeff Smith. Yeah, Jeff Smith. It was not selling, and then in the 80s, Neil Gaiman did an interview when he was hot, and he said Bone was his favorite new book, and then it exploded.
Neil Gaiman was his boy's acting
related.
Oh no!
Yeah. So we have Neil Gaiman to thank that Bone is making so much money.
Thank God.
It's because it's all thanks to Neil Gaiman that I bought this giant Bone.
Yeah. So if you want to protest Neil Gaiman's treatment of what he's been doing, then burn your bone.
Yeah, write your new book that you haven't even enjoyed.
I'm gonna burn my bone in Gayman protest.
Yeah, I call him Gay Neilman.
Man burns bone in gay man protest. Chimera for $1. We don't have memberships on this channel because YouTube's like fuck me, I guess. So there's I'm assuming this is in placement. This is in placement of his like one membership.
Amazing.
One random membership. Thank you, Chimera.
It was even a comment. Good job.
No, I don't think you can make a cut. You have to be on like. Is that a custom amount that you have to do? Does that cost me money? Do I get charged?
Wait, you have to. It would be funny if you had like some English bank exchange rate that was more than $1.
Oh, I'll tell you what, running the freaking campaigns from Indiegogo from the UK, you get like a $30 fee every time they do a transfer to you.
Ugh.
This is
Wow.
insane.
There you go, everybody. Don't be British.
Yep.
It's terrible.
That's what I've been saying all my life.
He says I'm doing a chargeback on you, Jake. Get that? That's my 66 cents.
That's right.
Yeah, I did get the huge Tome of Bone. In that documentary, they were complimenting just the storytelling and panel flow, and the how he will make a concentration of detail to manipulate time too. Like a panel that he intends for you to spend longer on will just have more detail.
I bought that book a while back and tried to read it, and I learned something about myself is that I don't like big, ungainly books. I just like
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I just want to read the Global Comics version.
Yeah. See, like, try reading that book. It'll like flop closed on you while you're reading it and smash your
Yeah, I
fingers.
could see that. Yeah, Bone and I hear Cerebus is better than Bone. I'm sure they're very different, but the characters like Bone, I don't know if that's his name, and then the guy from Cerebus just don't interest me at all because they feel like Charles Schultz creations.
Yeah, they're
Snoopy.
very.
I
But
shouldn't
I've
be
seen
reading
both
that,
series.
I'm not.
Well, they're not really
Wow.
series.
Who's Charles Schultz again?
The Peanuts guy, Charlie Brown.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it does feel. Well, it was originally made as a newspaper comic cartoon.
Yeah,
and they were like, "You
That
should
makes sense.
change it," and he was like, "Nah, I'm not going to change it."
Yeah.
But I was on Jason Bascom's thing, and he was raving about Bone, so it's partly his fault too. But he
Well-
didn't realize, like, I figured this out, first person ever too. Like, I was like, why is he called Bone? He is a bone.
Yeah, I guess.
The real one, not the,
yeah,
you know,
I guess so.
the boning. Have you never realized that
It's a
either?
bone. I mean, I don't know. I guess so. His head looks like one of those bone joints.
He's
Yeah.
He's just like a. Yeah.
Does he punch things or?
He's Enter the Bone Zone.
I hear
There's
it's a
like
ripoff of like
bone.
Lord of the Rings and stuff. I don't know.
Oh,
I never read it. I knew a lot of people in comic artists art school who are like, "Whoa, I love Bone." I never got it, but
no,
Yes.
looks
for
very
your
newspaper
review.
cartoony. But yeah, I'm
It
looking
really
forward-
is the character's art style. It's not appealing, but
You mean you don't like the character designs?
yes.
Mhm.
See what you did there.
Let's do this.
This is why character design is important.
So yeah, we do have a presentation. I think it's like 9 slides, but there's no text. There's not even a starting page. There's just a collection of nebulous imagery, starting with if I was to pull the presentation up right now on page 1 of the presentation.
This is it.
Hey, perfect presentation. Well done. All right, end of show.
Was here
That's
for
a
a
double press.
presentation.
Yeah, I was trying to make it until we got to the time that the auction launched. But yeah,
Did we
part
make
of I will get onto the presentation now, but I wanted people to know I'm doing a eBay auction thing today. It's the pinned link. You can go check it out. It is an actual DD piece that I brought up on stream. It's actually on Bristol board. It's like fully legit. So yeah, I know there are some DD fans out there. Let's go big. And yeah, you can get your hands on this. It's fully 11 by 17, and it's actually on Bristol board. And I actually added the spots on her headband that aren't in the image on the auction. But yes, go check out the auction. Thank you. Okay.
Very nice.
Go bid. Did you put the link in the chat?
Yeah, it's pinned. I think it works. It should
Oh
work.
yeah, I
Let me
see it right there. You're right.
Yeah, Henry Bemis has so many
outfit.
fluids. Yes, it is the DD. She's been saved. It is the moments after Irene's cover where she got saved, and then she's on the floor covered in definitely just saliva.
Yay! Yeah, all that is saliva on my cover, definitely.
Okay, and as FK says, now the show begins. This is the first slide. So yeah, last week we were doing fashion, which it got me thinking about character designs in general. I've been doing a ton of character designs this week for New Secret Thing, and so these are kind of like concepts I've been like mulling over, and I thought we could discuss. Does anyone want to jump in and try and guess what
These
point?
are the designs you just did?
Yeah, yes. What do you think? It's like set in space.
Pretty good.
It's
Kinda reminds me of-
It's like three sisters in armor that like conquer shit.
It reminds me of like
Well,
Boba
well,
Fett, though.
how could you guess that they were sisters pair? That's the reveal at the end of the first arc.
My
They're
God.
actually a woman, not a guy.
Oops, I ruined it.
How did you know that?
I
That's
gotta
a
go
huge
back to the
spoiler
manga.
that nobody knew. I don't know anything about the game besides from, that character thing. But I would guess that these are. Is it a character evolution or is it just different modes?
So these are, if anyone is a Metroid Prime fan, these are Samus's suit upgrades that you get across the game. These are the ones from Prime. There's like, she has a normal power suit which is really weak, and then she gets like the buff arm balls in the Vera suit, and then she gets like that gravity suit. It like changes palettes, and then at the end you get the Phazon suit or whatever, which is like radiation proof suit. Yeah, power up. So this is me just generally bringing up the idea of it's like a character's progression, but making a design for a character that you can kind of alter and upgrade or even destroy, like take bits off them. Like if you have a giant mech, maybe they parts of them can come off and they can have like bits of them exposed. It's the idea of kind of thinking ahead or visually showing some kind of progress for a character throughout a story. Like it's like, not I just design a guy and then like they look the same, or that you don't really later on you want to show them growing and you haven't really thought about it in advance, and that your design isn't really malleable enough. Have you guys ever thought about this kind of thing in your designs or not?
No, that's a good idea though.
Well, that's like this type of character progression would be like kind of what would you say, just long form storytelling progression, right? And we talk a lot about that more like episodic storytelling, like something like a situational comedy cartoon, that there's like there could be a reset after every episode. So you'd want your character to be consistent, especially if it's going to be a self-contained story that's digestible every once in a while. But yeah, it's interesting having the visual aspect of your character change, and I think that's great, especially if it's a long form epic story.
Yeah, I'm still really early on in my book, so I haven't been able to show that applied, but I definitely plan to have the characters change, which part of it is the characters like East will grow up because it's going to be like a couple years, but I have plans for other characters, upgrades in armor or clothing or just different hair that looks more and more epic, because I want this feeling of it gets more epic from low fantasy to higher later on. Yeah, this media that I like tends to do that if it's long form as well. Most of them, like seeing a character kind of gear up, and that's kind of a shonen thing too, right? They gear up, they become stronger, and they grow up,
Yeah.
and I like that. I think people like seeing that.
Yeah, you've now made me think of like, okay, if you do want to have a character progression and you want your character to look super badass, do you purposefully make the early version of them slightly lame?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that-
Yeah, kind of. Is okay. I've encountered this problem, and it's kind of motivating though, for as a creator to be like, I really want to get it done so I can show people how cool this idea will be when it's fully presented. Because to show the progression, I find that at the beginning, I kind of have characters not super magical or have any extra abilities and is slowly revealed. And I've I've had people like, oh, would Cosmere win against the other character? He's gonna lose. Like right now, this character is weak in comparison. But it's all because there's a progression plan there. And I'm trying to think of something I like reading where that has happened, and it's actually a little hard because I've been thinking a lot about FMA recently, and um Ed looks entirely the same throughout the series, except he grows up. And in the finale, there's a big physical change, but that's it. But still, the kind of subtlety of it still works subconsciously, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, there's like tropes, they call it the makeover trope. Like She's All That. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yeah. Well, I've never
And
seen
like
it, but I know not another teen movie.
it's like where they turn a nerd into a babe or whatever.
Mhm.
just
And
by
that's
taking
like
the ponytail out, you
That's
take the
right.
glasses off, you take out the ponytail, and the nerd becomes absolute babe.
That's right.
yeah. Yeah, which is funny. And then there's a horror version of it. They call it the baptism of blood. And that's where you take a normal person and then by the end they're bathed in blood and they look insane, which is always awesome.
Yeah, so you get the glowing eyes or something, they become possessed, or that's another direction, is like the deterioration of a character. Like I know I have a character powering up, but like you have a character like Gollum who turns from like a human thing to like a fucking bald gremlin, pale skinned monkey man, like hairless chimp.
Yeah, that's the reverse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was thinking a progression, but something that's done through flashbacks and over a ridiculously long time scale is Freerin. And so Freerin is like a super long-lived elf, and in flashbacks, because she's lived for like 1,000 years, you kind of can tell what time period a flashback takes place, and because her clothes change, like she looks exactly the same, but her clothes and her jewelry evolve, and it's very clear where this is fantasy, but subconsciously she'll be wearing something that looks kind of Roman. So, oh, this was like the olden days, and the newest one, she has more jewelry. It's kind of modern medieval, like not even medieval, like fantasy medieval. So you can tell that this character has changed over time, and that adds to the world building.
You could show a character integrating into a culture by having that change too, maybe. Like they fish out of water style. It's like as if Fry actually took his jacket off and wore future clothes, but he just he'll be wearing his jacket forever.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of well, but Futurama's mostly episodic, so there's not. It's kind of one of those reset shows, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, take a shot. Berserk does this pretty well. Gus changes a lot over the course of the story, and is like constant upgrades. Of course, there's how he was when he was younger, and into flashbacks, and then it's like you can just present the sword that he's using and know what era of the story we're talking about, because his sword changed until he gets the dragon. Like when he was part of when he was a child and with his asshole mercenary dad, he used one sword. When he was with the Band of Falcon, he used another sword, and they're all very distinctive, and his armor changes as well. And even in the modern current timeline, his armor upgrades when he gets to Berserker armor. So this is like a clear progression, and he gets progressively more and more fucked up, of course.
Yeah, see, that's awesome. And that's what I'm talking like, that long form storytelling. It makes the journey more epic, and you could see the scars on your character's body. You don't get almost any of that in American comic books, unless you're doing something that has an ending and is a self-contained story. And that's something that really interests me going forward with creative work. Like the Western I'm doing, the main character, he's cursed to basically like his body degrades the more he goes down this path of vengeance, and that showed visually, and then that also affects him in his abilities, which is pretty cool, I think. So
Phil, you've just triggered a freaking memory. This week I made a comparison, because what was it? Oh, so it's watching Futurama, and it's basically episodic storytelling. It's like the idea that because you're doing one story per episode, you really have to make the broad strokes super freaking obvious. Like we watched the episode of like Leela figuring out who her parents are, right? And the episode starts with Leela being like, I wish I knew who my parents were, and then the camera pans down to like them looking up at her in a sewer grate. And that's at the beginning of the episode. In a manga, that would kind of be the big reveal. That's where you would go, oh shit. But like in an episodic thing, like that's just at the beginning, and then she spends the whole episode being like, why do you guys stalk me so much? And then at the end, they literally have to spell it out like, no, through dialogue, we are your parents. We are not stalking you. This is the story. It's like how people call Western media consumers dumb idiot babies who need everything spelling out. Potential that it is because Western media focuses on episodic storytelling, and Eastern media has arcs.
A slow burn,
Yeah, I think it's clearly because Western, especially animation, has trained people to expect episodic storytelling and having everything explained. So comics are kind of like that. There's a reset point, and it's totally different in literature. Books are different, but in animation and even TV shows and comics, there's very little long form stories. So I remember showing Fiendish to the storytelling group. I hadn't even published it yet. This was years ago, and it was a bunch of other creatives who worked in animation. And I was like, "Oh, this is a cool story group." Everybody. It was supposed to be something where Jake's turned into a hedgehog. Finally, his true form. Everyone was working on their own IPs, and we were supposed to share and critique. And I showed the first few pages of Fiendish. Everybody was confused. They're like, why is there mystery? Like, we don't understand why you're not telling us who exactly Stana is. What are the demons? What happened? Yeah. We don't get that. Is Stana his dad? What? Everyone's confused. And I thought I was doing a terrible job until I showed people that were used to reading manga or even just Western fantasy novels. And they're like, well, clearly you're still learning on in some aspects, but the problem, not spelling everything out, isn't a problem because this is a long form story. You just need to have enough of a hook.
And so I bet there is a fear that early on character isn't super awesome out of the gate, and that it won't keep people around because maybe they're not used to a character growing and progressing. So they'll read like a first issue and be like, why do I fucking care? Like if they've got to go on an emotional journey and grow, like why is this character just being a dickhead all the time? I don't like them.
Okay. So I know that with what I've been doing, there are things I could have done better, but also I have noticed that, well, in some aspects the problem is just what the audience is already used to, and I've had people that don't seem to understand, and it's not their fault. Like I said, it's just because there's a difference between Western and Eastern media. My characters aren't going to stay at the same power level. It's not a superhero story where these are their powers and this is their strength level and the rest of the story is just this. It's all spelled out and they're just going to be fighting demons. No, there's more behind the demons. The characters are evolving. There's huge reveals in chapter 3 that I'm drawing now. Casimir learns new skills right here. I've said he's going to start learning magic and you're going to see that soon.
Whoa. That's
It's
awesome.
it's all planned. It's going to get way cooler, but to make the cool parts pay off, you have to start out at a lower stage, right?
For sure.
And I think what I want to figure out is how to present that in a way that people understand. Like, yes, this is a lower stage. You might think this is lame, but it will get cool. How do you telegraph that to a reader who isn't used to that?
You know, one way they do it in video games is they let you play one level with all the powers and then they take them all away. And then so you kind of you're like, I want those back or whatever.
So
But
like,
it's not like you can do that necessarily in comics. I don't know, but
well, no. In a comic, you can show like flash forwards. Okay. Berserk kind of does do it because the first arc is him with like huge sword and killing shit. Then it flashes back to when he was born, and then you have the golden arc, right? And like,
Yeah.
If
Rainy, you could do it with like heavy foreshadowing. Like they could meet in Oracle. She'd be like, "You gonna be a badass one day, but then you gonna die." And he's like,
"Oh, definitely." No, I'm not complaining about like, well, people just didn't understand. No, I think there's something I could have done better. And you're right. I think having that foreshadowing, I'm hesitant to do those flash forwards because then you're kind of beholden to draw the flash forward exactly as how you did like 5 chapters ago. And I remember seeing that in Tsubasa. There are people who are gonna know what I'm talking about. It's a Clamp book, and it begins with like a scene that's at the end of this series, and it's a long form fantasy manga. And I don't know, the first scene is like they're two standard like Sakura and Shaoran, and they're like on opposite sides. Anyways, if you've read it, you know. And you know there's this epic moment, and it worked really well because I read on and on, wanting to know how they got to that point. But that's scary because not everyone can match up to that scene, and your art might change, and you might have different ideas, and then you're going to regret having that setup to behold yourself to.
EC has a pretty perfect comment, and it like links to both what you guys are talking about. In shonen manga, they'll often show strong and mature characters in more skilled rivals that act as sort of a preview. Yeah, you can show the potential power level in other characters, and to link it back to what you were saying, Pear, Mega Man. In Mega Man, another character shows up that's super powered, right? That has like blonde hair or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Zero?
No.
I don't know.
I in a Mega Man game at the beginning you suck, but then someone turns up and saves you, and they have like the charge beam and stuff. Like, it's not you playing as the awesome character, then it gets taken away. It's like you seeing an awesome character and then thinking, can I upgrade to be them?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Having that, and I think that's why so many shonens have sort of this. They have a power progression system that's explained clearly. Like these are the different levels of demon fighters, or these are the different levels of superheroes. And like in My Hero Academia, you start out with a main character who wants to be a superhero, and he sucks and he's lame, but there's a superhero school, and you see fully powered, like the most powerful top superheroes doing their thing, and that's what we're going to eventually get to. You intuit that. So that's a really good point that you can set things up that way.
you
Oh
can
well, time to go back and redraw Fiendish 1.
you can even have it come out by like having a character that has potential but like they spurg out and have like a fit and like unleash power, kind of like Mob, I suppose. Like Mob and Mob Psycho, it's like what his potential is, because he'll have a hissy fit and throw a tantrum and then turn into like Super Mob and do a bunch of shit.
That's definitely a way to do that.
And those are like little samples of what they would be, who they could be, and there's a visual change with that too. So like, yeah, the idea here is you can kind of plan ahead that progression in your character design. And like you can try and make a design that's like modular in a way. In this, the visual is like palette swapping and making things a bit bigger. But
Yeah.
So there is actually a size increase.
That's what she said.
I don't.
Is bigger or far away?
I thought it was further away.
I actually set up this image so it was like this one in the middle was like looking at the one on the end, like, oh, I won't be as cool as that, and then okay, before I move on to the next slide, this format is great. Just make one image, don't write any text, and just like have a conversation about the concept.
Yeah.
I like it.
Perfect.
It works.
I'm gonna take a pit
not a lot of work, but you know.
I'm taking a pit stop for like 2 seconds and saying you guys are insane. There's 12 bids and it's already at 90 quid.
Woo!
Hell
yeah! Bid.
Keep going. This is ending in a week time?
Yeah, this ends on next week's show. It's like 7 days. Yeah,
I love that Michael Rushbrook art back there.
Next creative block, we will see this come to an end. So yeah, thank you all you guys who are bidding. It is insane. I couldn't believe it got up so high already. Link is pinned. Okay, next slide.
Oh, there is a second slide. I had just given up hope.
It doesn't belong.
Were you annoyed that we stayed on that one for too long? I'm sorry. Okay, so this is the concept of like making a style that of design that can kind of be modular across characters in your set. So you know, Brian Griffin, the best Sonic character. It's the idea, the concept of like making a team and having like a stylized element that works across the whole team to kind of unify them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have. I do this a lot. Like I've got it with the kind of like the blocks. It's fun to make different like whole new races of character or characters that have unified suits. It's kind of like the Power Rangers thing.
Right.
Like, have you ever approached a design where you're making a aesthetic palette?
No, but I like that too. You're blowing my mind. I gotta make a new comic so I can do these.
Aesthetic
have
palette
Brian Griffin in your comic too.
Multiple characters, right?
Like, are you talking about a set or specifically a new species of, like, a new race in your story?
Well, it's approaching a character design knowing that you're going to morph the elements to make other characters that have adaptions of those elements, like the little mouth area or the eyes on these characters. Like
like these characters could all swap shoes and it wouldn't change anything other than the
I mean they seem like, except for stupid Brian over there, they seem like they're all part of the same species or race or live on the same planet, you know.
You could put tail on Sonic and it would still fit.
If you were a monster, you could.
Yeah.
But But yeah,
It's
I know what you're saying. I haven't run into this yet. I think probably the closest thing that I would in any of stuff that I'm doing would be like, like a team outfit or something like that, but the carnal stuff, like you're actually creating crazy races of things, which a lot of thought has to go into that, just like these Sonic characters. But you see this a lot in branding, and especially cartoons, when a cartoon has to have a style that every character has to fit into, like a creative director that is giving them the style. Like even look at the Bruce Timm animated series, like the Batman animated series versus Superman. All those characters have that Bruce Timm style. They're all huge shoulders that taper off into that upside down triangle shape, and that went on for like 3 decades almost, going into like the Justice League cartoons and stuff.
Yeah,
I suppose in it. So obviously this is a higher concept kind of thing. It's like this is more a fantasy. These are like aliens in effect.
Sure.
But you can still, there we go, wacky races. Like you could apply it to like say characters had like little drone floating robot buddies with them.
Sure. Yeah.
You would want to make a visual, like if you're designing one guy's robot friend and you plan to introduce like more of them, you're whilst designing that one, you're kind of designing elements that can be morphed into like more of a palette across a set. But yeah, robot buddies, the similar thing with weapons, like designing your weapons as a character.
That's sorry.
No, go on.
Very enthusiastic to mention something. I don't want to cut you off. That using I have a short talking about this coming up soon, talking about shape language and character design. Yeah. But yeah, that's something they teach you in concept art, and it's because if you're doing concept art, what I was learning was concept art for games. What you end up having to do is designing sets. So either a race or just a team or a faction, and they all have to have the same look but be distinctive characters. So that the way to do that is through not just colors, which is an easy starting point, but technology level and shape language. It could be this group or faction is just boxier, or they all have big boots, and that could be a franchise look as well. But having something that's recognizable and unified, there you go. That
it was later in the thing,
colors and that pattern that denotes them as they're all one faction. So well done.
Your designs have distinct silhouettes, Jake, because even the Sonic ones, they kind of have distinct silhouettes, but not even that much. Like they're.
Oh yeah, let's go back.
But that's interesting because it's just more nuanced. Like it still works, I think. It wouldn't work if it's like Power Rangers. Then they actually have identical silhouettes. Then it doesn't work, and it's just colors.
You gotta find a way.
So the cool thing about Power Rangers is they have the normal human things, but they're like normal and very similar compared to their Zords. Like there's actually they're designed in tandem, so there's kind of like a golden ratio of design differentiation. Like all the Power Rangers are just people, and then you have like all of the giant Zords that are very diverse.
Yeah, because it even works when they look the same. And Sailor Moon, I think, looks really similar. Like it kind of works when you do that. But we were kind of taught. I feel like like have one super tall skinny guy, have one short fat guy, and everything in between. That way, people can always tell the difference. It's like maybe you don't need to do that so much. Although it's good to do it too. I mean, that's kind of what you do with the Blorks.
Look at the Transformers. The Autobots. The Autobots are all part of a team. They're all part of a basically made up
race and species, but they all have their own different shapes and identities.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
they're way
the
different sizes
Mhm.
and silhouettes, but all
Yeah,
blocky.
Seeing as we got onto
the
it, I definitely will bring up. Go on, Irene. Will I bring something up?
good. That's also something they teach you in a concept art, that silhouettes are very important. So if you can denote a character's faction and through the details of their designs, but every character's silhouette, if you black them out like that, should be very distinctive and individualistic. So there you go. TF2. You know immediately this is TF2.
Well, I mean, so there's an extra layer to video game design, especially like a hero shooter, which is what I guess this is categorized as now.
Yeah, I guess so. Huh? It's like the first one, huh?
That's funny
Yeah,
name.
you're not just making them differentiated and recognizable. You have to show what they do in their silhouette, like what their role is within the gameplay as the silhouette. I don't remember. There's so many details this with the TF2 characters of how their silhouettes link to what they do, and I've just forgotten them all. But I suppose what Angie's got his wrench out, heavy in his wheelchair, the classic heavy wheelchair. It's very progressive.
I don't think that's a classic heavy.
Is the heavy not in a wheelchair?
I don't think he's normally in a wheelchair.
Oh.
What do I know, though?
Another cool thing about this way of doing things, if you make a visual palette, is that fans get to both pick one that's them, and they also get to make their own fan characters. So you end up with things like this.
Aren't those real characters? Oh, what? I'm
Wait,
Tails?
wait, no. The wrong way around. Phil, you usually come in last.
Wait, I missed it. Oh, here, you put something
You
over the top.
had preordained characters for us. Very
Rini
nice.
gets to be Shadow. Shadow's the best. That's
She's literally shadow colors.
No, I guess.
I wore red too.
Actually,
Perfect.
yeah, Rini, your mic, it looks like it's part of Shadow's design. Looks like he's holding a lightsaber.
That's true. That's funny.
No, I would be we've talked about this. I'd be Piss Tube.
Phil.
Is that a Sonic character?
You have a visual for Piss Tube?
You want a visual for Piss Tube?
Yes, I would like you to show me your Piss Tube.
Let me Google him. Hold on.
Okay.
I saw a clip of Sonic 3 of Jim Carrey being Robotnik, and the tweet said, like, so glad that they had got 3 movies in so they could develop his character so much. He's so great. And the clip was hilarious, but I can't remember what it was. But I was thinking, like,
was it him dancing with himself? Is it that one?
No, he was it's him talking trash, but then James Marsden talks trash back, and then he immediately plays the victim, and it was really funny. But
man, talk about character development visually. Like, they did this with Jim Carrey in those Sonic movies. They started off with him being so normal, and now he's like insane.
Yeah. All right, here's Piss Tube. He's only in, I think he was only in like an adult Sonic dating sim. He's Rouge the Bat's ex-boyfriend. He runs a strip club, I think.
And his name is Piss Tube?
Piss Tube.
Is that him?
Yeah, Piss Tube the rat.
So this is you, Phil.
Yeah.
I can see the resemblance.
That character.
It's cool. He's kind of got like a rat mullet. You see on his back there?
Yeah, a rollet.
A tumor. Yeah.
It's like a rat tail mullet. He smokes. He's got a gun. He's cool. Piss Tube. It's my favorite. But I guess I'll be this. Who's the alligator? What's his name?
He's the one I think is the coolest. He's Vector the crocodile.
I'll take him. He's green like Piss Tube. So.
He's people who think their knuckles should be thinking they are.
Yeah. He's cooler than Knuckles?
Hey, what up? It's me, Vector the crocodile. That's his voice. Best voice of all the Sonic thing. But yeah.
I only
Okay.
played the dating sims, so I wouldn't.
Well, right. So,
Wait, can I interrupt you?
Yes, always, please do.
I have a the first thing we talked about, but I forgot to bring it up. The like evolution of a character. We kind of did that in. I'll share this tab in the People series, and here's the People. He just got his ass kicked by the Silhouette. Spoilers. But Dan really wanted to add something to the design and show kind of like time passing in between the two, or not in between, but for the two issues. So he gets his ass kicked here by the Silhouette. He has some cool flashback, and then he wakes up. He has this buddy who is his troop mate from back in overseas when he was in the military, and he patches him up. He works at this big tech company, but after he's going to go back on his mission, he gets this new badass shoulder armor and glove thing. He gets a new bat, so it changes his costume for the rest of the issue and going forward. Just little upgrades that his buddy's been working on. So next time you see him, he looks a little bit more badass. So that's kind of like the closest thing I've done so far of an evolution of a character's design.
Nice.
Yeah, Dan killed it on that though.
Yeah, that art was great.
If you would progress it more, it'd be like his hand gets cut off, but then he puts the bat in the hand and becomes bat arm. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like Ash. Yeah, totally.
He ends up having like skin. All his skin gets burned off, but then they have nothing on hand but like the American flag to use as a graft. So he literally has like flag grafted skin.
Yes. If this was a Venture Brothers comic, that's exactly what would happen.
Yes, you can do more ridiculous shit in these veins if you're doing something as stupid as
Can I show something off? Okay.
As long as you want those Sonic characters to join you.
It's fine. They're my friends now. They're my presentation friends. Is this the okay? No boobs. So these are, if you've read chapter 2 of Fiendish, I have these characters. It's a species called Burman, and they're basically kind of Neanderthals, but probably dumber than Neanderthals actually were in real life. They're like base humans, but very brutish and strong, and they live in the mountains, and they're pretty stupid. So I designed kind of a set of how they would dress here first, before drawing them in the book, and I went for kind of these shapes that carried over to the different individuals, and tattered clothes, and like really rough sewing. So they might show up more, I don't know yet, but I wanted them to look different than humans and have a more primitive outfit style than normal humans do. And here, like, just some of the characters and their evolution. I'm planning to have Casimir get more armor as the story progresses. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys this. And I think this helps. It denotes factions from each other. So.
Yeah, I think creating sets lets you, even if you're not going to use them, it lets you understand the one character design that you do go with more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because in Phoenix 2, there are only 2 of the Burman, but I designed a bunch of them just to get a feel for how they would look. And another thing I've actually done a lot of these designs. A lot of them I can't show because of spoilery, but this isn't character designs, but it's architecture designs for the whole continent. So I've thought of how the different buildings would look for the different cultures, and I kind of carry over the how people would dress, and you can get a feel for the technology level. Like, this is wooden cabins, kind of Russian-ish. So this is how people build in the north, and this is how people build in the marshlands. So knowing that, even though we haven't seen any of this in the book yet, kind of it solidifies the world in your mind, and I think that helps.
Super cool.
There is the aspect of designing a location or an architecture as a character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff. We should talk about that.
Here, this is the actual design that Dan did. I don't want to cover up this page because spoilers, but That's
that feels so Metal Gear Solid, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's
Yeah,
super
you know
drifty.
what one thing I'm getting from this is it's like nested kind of like a faction is like a design. Or Jake, what were you calling it? It's like sets or
A
you were
set
calling
or a
it something.
palette or
Yeah, yeah. And then within that, then you have more nuanced character designs, but they're all of that type. And then you're still messing with whatever the silhouettes and stuff.
yeah, like
Like
I can
Mad Max Road Warrior was like that too. Like all the different gangs, they have their type, and then
Mm.
amongst them, they're all like the War Boys. That's the
Yeah,
type. But then
for
there's
sure.
100 different War Boy designs
yeah.
also.
Yeah.
I can't help doing this like with the block thing. Like it's so fun to just turn like okay, you did one character design, fine. But like now you can have fun making like 50 designs based off that one design and see how far
Sure.
you can push it. It's so fun. Like it ends up becoming like a bit of a you do it too much and it's like sometimes a character can just be like one character, man. Like it doesn't have to be like to turn into a whole race of 50 characters.
And they can
Yeah,
kind of
this
play
is
off each other. Like Metal Gear Solid has a feel for the whole, like every character. And it's probably from the process of building them all out that you kind of coalesce it into this kind of feel that gets really fun.
You know what? So I'll jump to it seeing as we're on this slide. But yeah, the setting this is kind of like the opposite of creating a set. Like even though like the Sonic thing it's so the Metal Gear Solid thing, each of those characters is kind of representative of a
Ooh,
culture or a world or a bubble realm
yeah.
within the overall world. So they're kind of like a stereotype, right? But they still have a visual style that unites them. Like
Yeah.
these are all very muscly guys. But like yeah, so I pulled up Street Fighter as an example of this. Metal Gear Solid is a great example too. Yeah, it's like letting yourself indulge in tropes to
For sure.
create the like it's like Venture Bros, right? Each one of the characters is almost representative of a whole show, a whole alternate show.
Yeah, this is perfect because all of these characters are specifically from different parts of the world, right? That's the whole theme. In fact, I
Yeah, yeah.
think
And they come
this,
together for the tournament or whatever.
right. I think, in fact, this art might be for Street Fighter 2 World Warrior. Yeah, because DJ's there. So DJ's from Jamaica. He's the guy with the maximum on his pants, and he's like, they're totally stereotypes. Like he's had the Jamaican accent. He's like, hey, hey, all the time when he's fighting. This is perfect.
Yeah, that I can't pull them up, but I've the bunch of designs I've done this week, it is the stereotype trope world tour thing of their world. You know what I mean? Like you have a set of characters, they could be in conflict, they could work together sometimes, and they are all like the British guy is wearing a Union Jack shirt. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like even your people guy, you could have the British version of him that's covered in Union Jacks on his head.
The limey.
Yeah, he has fucked up teeth.
Well, they have that. There's a Marvel character. His name's Union Jack, who has a really cool costume. Of course, you got Captain Britain, who's also a Marvel character. You know, and they're just like they could just basically just be Captain America. They got the Canadian version is the Guardian, you know, or Captain Canuck is another one. Can you name all these characters, Jake?
If I lean in,
How many could you name?
No, you
can't
can.
read them.
on the screen.
Ashim, Phelan, Echidna, good old Zangy. Yeah, I can read. And Bison's the coolest though.
Bison?
Dango Solo says, there's a British block? All the bold blocks are British. They're all British. Okay. Let me see
Oh yeah,
which.
this is the American version.
Why
because-
is a character name different?
Yeah, because what M. Bison was originally Balrog's name, who
Uh-huh.
he's the black boxer, because M. Bison was supposed to be a rip on Mike Tyson, M. Tyson.
Okay.
But for the American ports, they changed it and they like triple swapped names. So I think Bison is Vega's name, and then they switched Vega with him. It's like a
You
triple
know,
swap.
something else about this that's kind of fun is they're all like cliches and stereotypes, but even within that, it's infinite nuanced design. Like there's like a Native American Indian guy there,
Yeah,
but he's
T-Hawk.
wearing like like a corduroy vest cut off with tassels hanging from his boots, and like you'd still have to think of all that stuff when you design him.
It's jacked.
Yeah, you like that's the where he lives, they all dress like that. So you imagine the whole town's
Yeah.
fashion, right?
He comes from more than Native American. He's from Corduroy Town or whatever.
Yeah,
Not Corduroy, Denim.
Corduroy Town.
He could be from Corduroy, USA. That's a great place name. Okay, that was fun. This slide. Thank God we're on to the next one. This is like a completely different concept, the idea, dig from everything. So I'm coining this term of visual flanderization. Do you guys understand what regular flanderization is?
No.
Is that in relation to Flanders, Ned Flanders?
Yes. So in regular fossilization, in regular flanderization, like he just becomes diddly doodly daddly deedlies and haley hoes and doesn't have. He becomes a parody of itself.
What?
Bless
you. It's in tight.
Huh?
She's so confused.
You just made a bunch of noises. That didn't make sense.
Haley ho! You don't know no plans.
Diddly doodly doodly
Diddly doodly. Haley ho!
Yeah, you don't know Flanders? You know who Ned Flanders is? Irene?
I do, yes.
All right.
Oh, thank God. Are you lying?
Might be lying.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, well, Ned
Simpsons
Flanders
guy.
famously talks really weird and says "Hidely ho, neighborino" a lot.
Oh, okay. I know.
Neighborinos? TV networks love animation because they can change the voice actors and no one knows the diddly difference. Flanderization is already a thing, Henry Bemis. It is a term that already exists. But yeah, this is I call it visual flanderization. Yeah. People in character design, they know the rules of like this guy is a square, so we make him a square, or like Mr. Incredible is sturdy, so we make him big, strong shapes that's immovable. And I basically want to say that's all well and good, but also it ends up sucking because it can end up flanderizing itself, and you go from like good characters on the right, who, to be honest,
you know what that reminds me of is legalese. Do you know what legalese is? Like how lawyers talk,
Yeah.
and they perpetuate that system for their own benefit. And I think animators and character designers do that too, where they just invent all these fake rules that if you don't know them and haven't gone to school, paid $100,000, then you're not part of the club and they can kick you out or whatever.
You don't know all the buzzwords.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
a little bit of like bringing a little fresh perspective does get better character designs than like a pro who's just like, we're going to use the line of action and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay.
Well, if you go to school or an academy, if it's institutionalized, imagine trying to institutionalize creativity. And I've seen, not that I'm very much on the fence about whether our school's worth it, generally not, but I've seen people get held back by that. Like, I have to do this and that rule, and if I don't adhere to these rules every comic page, it doesn't work. That's not true. And I think what you're talking about here is people who are too beholden to let's create by the rules instead of, well, what instinctively feels right. Because honestly, a character design is so complicated. No, even though I disagree with you putting Up right there, I think Up is very well designed. How dare you? I love Russell.
Wait. Up is straddling the line. It's crossing over into flanderization.
Yeah,
It's
so you're
still
saying
has
on the
some-
left is
How dare
good and on the
you.
right is bad. I like that. Yeah, yeah. Because
I
the
like
left is
Up.
good. All that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, and no, this other stuff on the left is good, and I think it's because the characters aren't just one thing. Realistically, every character is a combination of shapes, and that adds to the nuance. On the right side, with the whatever emotion Pixar movie that didn't wash up because it looked really lame, and it's because the character designs look so basic. They don't look interesting. Oh, this is Fire Lady. Oh, this is Water Guy. What's interesting about it, though? That's all there is to it.
No, I
It
know.
feels like there's one dimension.
What a guy literally looks like a fucking amoeba from a toothpaste commercial or something. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
feels
yeah. He
very
looks like he could walk out of a
standardized.
toothpaste commercial.
And the same reason I don't like the standard face Disney, especially for the women, they all look the same. Frozen was so boring to me. I don't know why people love it so much. Oh my god, everybody has same face. I hate it.
in Frozen, did you say?
Frozen, yeah.
Frozen! Yes!
It was a pop song that had you could sit in a cinema and watch the pop song and feel
I
the feel.
hated it. It was oh my god, that whole year that song played over and over again, and it was
I
stupid
can't even
because
remember the
they
lyrics.
had a chance. Why was Elsa's
Oh yeah, let it
outfit
go.
when she transformed some Oscar's gown? That makes no sense. There was no cultural context within it. I hated it. It should have
Yeah, it
been
was
like
trash.
some Viking princess outfit, not some ball gown.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Here
So,
we go.
Up should be on
there. Reenie rant. We need a Reenie rant button.
No, you don't.
We should get one.
Maybe you do.
Yeah.
I'm done though.
Yeah, so there's the visual flanderization of like creating these rules and then like you're doing nebulous concepts and they just become like ethereal bloops because of the flanderized rules. But these fucking cool badass old school Pixar characters on the right, there's like a hidden trick nested away, a cheat sheet, if you will, that they used. Do you think they invented what a caterpillar is or a ladybug? Do you think they made up what cowboys are? Like there's the each one of these has like a very strong theme that they're drawing from. Like the toys are a set that you then put the stylization onto, right? Like it's also picking a good source to adapt, where you're adapting like things people recognize, like bugs and toys and robots, and not like souls and water and emotions. I don't know. Maybe if you would like to, maybe you could give the characters more bite. Like I consider the ones on the left to have more bite. They just have more. It's the what 90s grit that people used to say. There's at least a couple of thimbles full more of grit in the left hand ones than the right ones.
Yeah.
And like someone said about a fucking draw a pineapple smoking a cigarette and punching Woody from Toy Story in the face. Who needs the rules? Just be lit. So there is the rule of cool factor where you can just draw a pineapple, but it's not like, hello, I'm happy friendly pineapple. I'm chain smoking hungover pineapple.
Hell yeah.
And he's a bit prickly.
I got you.
You got me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Souls, Water, and Emotions. The new Y files drop. Hey, Y files! Yes.
That's it. Take a drink whenever Berserk, Futurama, or Y files is mentioned. No.
Free Ren's the new one. Oh no, FMA. She's
Yeah, I've been reminded how much I love FMA.
Free Ren would become the new one if she didn't just binge it all in a week and forgot about it.
No, I didn't forget it. It's not over
got
yet.
it.
I need the show to be finished.
Okay. I'll see you in like 10 years then. Okay. We brought it up last week. Literally the best character design of all time. This is the idea of making a character that can be like very adaptable.
Bender.
Oh, that human version of him is funny.
Yeah, human Bender.
Yeah, I
The
just saw
fun-
that episode. It was so funny. Oh, it was
The-
so gross.
The fun thing about Human Bender is Bender is design wise. I think this is in the commentary somewhere. Essentially, Futurama's Homer. So for them to do Human Bender wearing the white shirt and blue jeans, and then I guess not fully bald head, it's kind of like they did do Bender Homer.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he's
I
kind of like younger Homer.
Gender Bender.
It helps that he is a robot, so you can change, like he can pull anything out of his chest compartment or his butt. And you can just add parts to him. He's a very versatile build because he's a robot.
Well, this is another concept I wanted to bring up during this slide, other than like have a simple but iconic design that you can slap a bunch of like paint jobs on to make cool and be fun. The other side is it's about having in a group, it's the non-standard character. Say you'll have two humans and a robot. Fry, Leela, and Bender are essentially like two humans and a robot sidekick, and then the non-standard character gets to have like a bunch of weird rules about it. Like in Knight Rider, the car is a character. Like there's a non-standard character. Like even in Quantum Leap, like Ziggy is like a weird alien thing.
Is he the retarded one?
Say again.
Is he the retarded one? That looks in his
He's retarded in all of them.
Oh, okay.
They remade it and they just got the retarded him to do the rest of the leaps. Yeah, there was a gender bender episode. It's right there, John Snowden. But
yeah, the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
No, that's when he actually became a woman. He got femazole. He got oiled. The gender bender ones where he is a successful professional wrestler, and they're like, we need to kill your characters, so they turn him into the gender bender. I actually have that figurine. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Of course you do.
Talk about cool stuff.
My shiny metal ass. Yes. So, do you guys have a character that's? I like that point of having a character that is the versatile one that can change a lot. Though I do think it's a bit of a comedy thing, like the character that is gaggable, right? Do you guys have somebody like that?
Oh yeah.
A gaggable character? Are we talking about like Wonder Woman?
No, I'm not talking about Dee Dee. I'm talking about joke gags.
Whoa.
Look, hold on. These come in a set. You get the Crushinator. No, that's not the Crushinator. This is like whatever his name is. And then you get
Those are awesome.
And they're in scale with each other. It's fucking awesome.
That's wonderful.
There you go.
Very pretty. Look at
The
that.
gag character, you mean like because Bender can pull stuff out of his chest?
Yes.
Well, yeah, so all the ones in it, because, you know, Bender's a robot, sure. It's like the little alien from the Flintstones. You can have like a ghost character, like two humans and like one of them's a ghost. Just about the idea of having a non-standard character in a group of standard ones, and they can be it creates contrast. It lets you do crazy stuff without it having to be too fantasy. Like, you don't have to make it a werewolf or a vampire or a ghost, I guess. It could be like someone from a different country and they have a weird culture or something, and you make up the culture.
I think as long as go ahead.
I have an example. Well, I can show it after you finish what you're saying, Irene.
I was just gonna say that it's a good point that they could just be from a different country, because I was thinking of it as a comedy thing, but it doesn't have to be, or it could just be any character that doesn't need to be taken seriously, and that could benefit a very serious story that can help loosen things up and make it fun, because the fun factor it's like style versus structure. So having good structure and a good plot and all that is important, but what about having fun and the pizzazz of a story and a character that's versatile and there just to be fun and do unexpected things adds to style, and that is important too.
Yeah, Scooby the dog was the non-standard character.
Yeah.
A bunch of humans.
Speaking of that, I have a dog character. He's more of a
Yeah.
wolf, but if you share my screen here, this is
Is he
Scar.
hungry like the wolf?
No, this is Scar. He's like the comic relief to Wildcard. They're best friends. He is a talking wolf, and because he is the levity of a lot of the stories, he's like up for anything. So they are walking through the desert here. They both get sacked, right? And then when he gets unsacked, he sees that they've kidnapped Scar and are worshiping him as some sort of deity, and they have to play along. And he's like, they think I'm Anubis. Just play along. This is my biggest gig yet. And then so you got him. He's got this cool like Egyptian thing on, and then the grumblings happen, and then the real Anubis appears out of this giant hole in the ground, and they're screwed. So they have to, get his magic cards back and fight him.
I've been trying to figure out the factor of like, oh, I'm gonna read that. Like, people buy a lot of these comics and then they don't fucking read them.
Yeah,
and like I'll buy loads of them and I won't read them. But
Right.
like, there's a certain pull sometimes where something will hit you and it'd be like, no, I'm actually interested in this. I'm actually gonna read it. So
Mhm.
like seeing that dog sitting on that thing saying like, no, they think I'm the god. Just go
Yeah.
with it.
Mhm.
The non-standard character might be a factor that makes me actually want to read something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's I like characters like that. Like supporting characters are so important to a story sometimes, and the
Mhm.
relationship between these two bouncing off of each other, like the straight man and Scar, is really fun. And we did like the Egyptian guys speak in Egyptian hieroglyphs. So you don't know what they're saying. So that was fun.
Is this one of your comics or?
Yeah. This is part of the Lost Pages. So this is in the Myths of the Lost Pages, which is in the tome. So you have this, and this was the 4-page short to introduce Wildcard as a character, and Maxi Dallo drew it. This was actually the first comic that I did with him, but we didn't crowdfund it till after Magic Op. So this was actually done. The short story was done before we did Magic Op 1, so it's one of our first things. But he's going to be in Lost Pages 4 a lot. It's going to be all about Wildcard and him.
I want to say the coloring on this is very, very good.
Yeah,
this is very good coloring.
Yeah, he killed it. And this is Eugene as well, which we use on everything. But him, it's so cool to see him on different artists because he just molds very well with everybody.
The coloring is so effective. Look at the blue shadows on that
sculpture. Yeah,
that sculpture there. Like you're in that place. You know what I mean?
That's a fun one.
Like the art and it's great, and the writing is obviously funny because of the premises on display. But like, I don't know, man. I gotta point out good coloring. Good coloring doesn't get mentioned enough, I guess. There's Jake's Ankh. Yeah, look it up. It was a sex thing.
Jake's Ankh. Yes.
I still don't believe that.
Me neither. That sounds made up.
It sounds BS.
John Snowden. Yes, there is a tome which collects everything, but you could also just get this book, which is a collection of shorts. It's about 60 pages off of our site, and it's in full color. So the tome is in grayscale. So if you like the colors, grab the Myths of the Lost Pages is called.
Yeah, this is just very pretty. So here's the rub with the non-standard character. Do those characters work outside of comedy? Comedy and the non-standard character super easy. So people are gonna go to it. That's gonna be the go-to. It's the kind of the comic relief, as Phil said, like the supporting character. You totally could do it for dramatic effect, like a character that's maybe mysterious and people want to know, or maybe a character that's like from a different culture and closed off and people feel uncomfortable around them, or they can be a way to introduce like trying really hard to think of it, and I'm having to make up
I
examples.
think I have a example, like if you have like a secret agent character, he could still be very serious, very cool, but you could put him in a bunch of things if he needs to go in disguises, or you put him in a ski resort. And, you know, like look at James Bond. How many outfits has James Bond been in? Because he just adapts to whatever terrain, or a character that's like a master disguise. You know, so you put him in a bunch of different stuff. It's you could do more with it in comedy because you have that aspect of it where it's just ridiculous and silly to put them in different
Yeah,
situations.
comedy is absurdity.
Mhm,
So
right.
a non-standard character is a perfect avenue for introducing absurdity and letting everyone else stay the same.
Yeah.
We have a super chat.
Oh yeah.
It is from FKA 322, and it is a great question. FKA comes in with good questions on these streams, so I'm very grateful that you came in with. Was it last week? Did they say like what is your favorite character's outfit design? Was that FKA?
Might have been.
Don't remember, but FK does have good questions.
But yeah, they say, what is everyone's favorite and least favorite redesigns of a long-running character? Well, they haven't redesigned Benda yet, so
I hate the redesign of Motoko Kusanagi for Ghost in the Shell Arise. What the fuck? My god.
You want to bring it up?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second to pull it up.
Arise, chicken, arise.
It offends me.
I don't know if stuff I like has been like successful enough as an IP to have redesigns. Like Red Dwarf, one of my favorites. They never suppose Crichton season 5 Crichton. Oh,
I got one, Jake.
Go on.
I'll share screen 1 second.
Oh, I got one too. I don't know.
So mine's Jill Valentine, and I have. She's the worst and the best. Like the redesign from the original game to RE5 is really good and really fun. Like she looks great, and but then from this is her in like the new games, I really don't like. So
You don't like that?
Will not explain, but I hate this new design like the old one. The super old one is okay.
Refuse to elaborate. I preemptively refuse to elaborate.
Yeah.
Okay. Share.
Yeah, this is tough.
I got to think of a design that I like now.
All right. I will go because I have this pulled up. So.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
So I have this. Hold on. I should start with the movie. So I mean, of course, there's the manga version, but I'll just talk about the animated versions. Pretend the live action didn't happen. This is Kusanagi in the Oshi movie, so the first animated adaptation, and it's more realistic. It's like 90s art style, but she looks like a fucking adult, right? Because that's kind of the character in the comics. Like in the comics, she's a little more slapstick. She's more spunky. The comics are more funny than the movie. The Oshi movie is very serious. He's a very serious director, but this actually feels, and this is something to discuss. This take, as different as it was from the manga, felt like this is a different take on the character that was legit. You know what I mean? Even though she's super different than the manga, and I can't really place my finger on why. But
you're like me, you can't explain either, or won't explain.
I can't explain a lot of things. I'm me no good words, me draw. But but it's something to think about, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on why, because this worked, even though she's super. I should pull up the manga. I apologize. Okay, Ghost in the Shell manga, real quick.
Manger.
It is.
Oh,
All
I
right.
actually have
Go.
example.
That's Manger.
Make sure safe search is on because boy, the manga is yeah. So
Tentacles.
let's see. She looked like that, like more cartoony, very more humor in the manga. Ghost in the Shell. That's what it looked like. Big eyes, and so the first movie adaptation looked like this, and then the one I like the most is the Kamiyama series. Unfortunately, he's also the one who did the Rohirrim anime recently. So I don't know what happened there, but I like this a lot. This is standalone complex and second gig, and this is a great adaptation of the character. And I think it's because in both Oshi and Kamiyama's adaptation, there were certain factors that felt like her. She's very she embraces her, even though she's a cyborg, she embraces her humanity through being a sensual woman. So she looks like an adult. There's a certain way she presents herself. It's very mature. Sometimes she's more humorous, sometimes she's not. Anyways, this was great. And then they redesigned her for this newer series, Arise, and she looks like she's like 10. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they gave her this Akira biker outfit. And
I know what they're doing.
I don't understand. It's weird. And it didn't even feel like, well, they wanted to do an origin story for her, but it was this confusing thing where in Standalone Complex, they had established an origin story that was really good. And they completely changed it in Arise. But there was still, it was confusing because other things were the same, but then they randomly changed certain aspects of her origin story and the characters. And she didn't even feel like Kusanagi. It doesn't even make sense that she would be this little stick figure girl because she's a cyborg. If she's an adult, she's an adult body. What, is she a special agent when she's 10? I don't get it. I hated it. This was a really bad idea.
You know what else looks bad is the really short bangs. Always look.
Yeah,
She
she's
looks like
got
the
those
Ergo
borderline
Proxy
personality
goes
disorder
with
bang.
Tornado. This is she looks like she's supposed to be screaming at you about feminism or something. Why did they do this? I don't know.
She's trying to infiltrate Hollywood. I think that's what it is.
It's terrible. There, that's my contribution.
Seduce some producers.
Ugh.
The juices.
Yeah, this was very good. This was a great design. Look at this. Absolutely perfect. So I guess two birds in one stone. This was technically a redesign of an older franchise, and I liked it a lot. But then they readapted it and failed, which I think is a lesson in why there's a limit on how many times you can adapt a franchise before you water it down. It just turns to shit because you do exhaust these ideas and you stray away too much from what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have one that is a grievance that I'm sure people could guess.
Is it Rogue's ass?
Is it Trigun?
No and yes.
I knew it!
Look at this redesign.
One have hair up, one have hair down.
One has hair lesbian and one has hair up. All right. This is the Netflix version that came out. Well, that's not the Netflix version, but it came out on Netflix, I don't know, last year or something. I haven't watched it. Refuse. No, I'll watch it after I'm done reading the manga. But this is from Trigun Stampede. He's got this weird modern. It's not even modern. I feel like this was popular 10 years ago and people were complaining about it. Like, it's an overdone trope, the side shaved head. But it's on a guy, but you wouldn't be able to tell that this is a guy. Oversized, goofy glasses that aren't cool as compared to your the 90s round glasses. Hair is not up, but I hear that changes at the end of the series. I'm not sure.
Character progression.
Yeah, maybe that's what I've heard, but I haven't watched yet. And Vash notably has one of the coolest jackets in anything, and they made it like some weird shit. Like, this is the cool 90s jacket, and in the new one, he's wearing just like I don't know what this is. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
jacket?
that's
visual
flanderization.
flanderization.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh yeah, it's totally flanderized. You're totally right. And look, so he has, it's supposed to be not clear that his arm is a robot arm, right? You don't know that when you first start reading the book or watching the original anime. But here, it just you blatantly see it. Like
Yeah.
there's secretly a gun in his arm, and you don't know how he lost his arm, but he did. So you're just giving your audience lack of mystery, which is really dumb.
Yeah. Is
Super
that one
stupid.
made by woke people or is that one made by Japanese?
I don't know. I'm sure with the animation company's a Japanese company, but I know that they changed a lot of things. So the supporting character Wolfwood, the guy with the giant cross gun, in the original story, he chain smoked cigarettes. They took that out, and so instead of a cigarette, it's a sucker.
That's so
That's so
lame.
gay.
Right.
That is infinity gay.
Super
Make
gay.
more characters smoke. Like just
Yes, I know. But I hear that like for some reason China doesn't want that in their media. So like when League of Legends
Fuck 'em!
got bought by Tencent, they took out one of my favorite characters' cigar that he smoked, and they just got rid of it. It's like it's out of the game now.
smoking
Fuck
will
'em!
never not be cool.
I know, and isn't China like the biggest smokers ever?
Yes,
Everybody
everybody
over there.
smokes. I'm not even just talking shit. Everybody smokes,
Yeah,
especially like the old uncle types.
yeah.
You should see Irene when she goes back there. She's like a 20
chain
pack a
smoking
day
like a
woman.
motherfucker.
But another thing I heard they changed is that character Wolfwood, big cross gun. They took out that he's a priest. Like in his whole storyline is he's like a traveling priest, or that's the guys he travels under. But he's part of this big like almost like Catholic cult of priests that are raised as orphans to worship these plant deities. But they took that aspect out of it. Instead of like having his priest outfit or any crosses on him besides the gun, he's just like in an open dress shirt. So
a
lot of stuff.
That's another thing that should be brought back is the general shoving in of Christianity symbols into anime stuff for like no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's funny.
The best.
Throw up mine real fast, Jake.
Doing it.
I just want to say shout out to Grand Prix because I made WizKid smoke in it.
There you
and I
go.
did it for the exact reason that you guys are talking about. I was like, nobody's smoking anymore. I'm going to make my guy hold down the fort with it. But...
I wonder how hard they are to find if no one else is smoking and it's in space. Like, how are they getting made? How are they getting shipped there? I wonder what the
cigarettes,
the
everyone smokes
pipeline
in space. Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, so
cool. What is this?
So here's the Crichton originally he had the biggest glow up. He starts off as like this British butler guy in a fucking suit, and he looks terrible. The actor was good, but you know the character wasn't. Then he got. You guys know who Crichton is? He got a big upgrade by changing actor. And then progressively, the heads got better. Season 5, pretty good. I was wrong. It's the latest season. Season 5, Crichton, pretty good. Even season 7, Crichton, pretty good. I think the real culprit here might be that the actor slowly gained weight in the latest season. Like down here,
it's the same mask from series 2, but his chubby cheeks just push it out.
Yeah, like this is like babyface Crichton. But yikes! Season 8 is the best Red Dwarf season. I will argue anyone. Season 8 is the best season. It has the sexual magnetism potion, and Rimmer fucks everyone, and Kachansky's hot. And anyway, but yeah, so that is my, it had a good glow up. And then, terrible redesigns. But my actual best redesign of any character ever.
Okay.
Those who know. This is
Okay.
I don't think anyone knows, Jake.
Is this some VTuber thing?
This is Iron Mouse's worm.
I knew it. I've seen it before, but I can't place where. I knew VTuber degeneracy.
Look, TC, you got to save me. You know this. Someone's got to know this. Come on.
No one knows.
Know it. Go on, someone's got to know it. But yeah, that was my favorite character redesign.
Okay.
I have a honorable mention. Metal Movies and Brewskis mentioned this in the chat, and yes, the Lobo New 52 redesign. Obviously, you got your regular classic Lobo on the right, and then this is the redesign for New 52, where they changed everything about him and made him a twink.
We should call them D designs.
It is a D design, and although this character design was designed by the great Kenneth Rocafort, he himself was mad that they accepted it because he told me that he turned in like 3 to 5 other cooler designs that he wanted, and then this one, and this is the one they picked.
Aww. I hate that feeling. Okay, so here's the thing with character design. When clients ask for character design, you do like one that you really like, and then you turn in a bunch of lamer ones to try and make them stick.
Yeah.
And then it's a risk though, because they want multiple designs, and I swear to God, they'll always pick the lame ones.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to just shout out. I also endorse the smoking.
You and all of our smoking characters?
Yeah, they smoke pipes, but we will have that in Fiendish. So there you go. Yeah. Freedom.
Speaking of redesigns, who's that character?
Pistu.
Oh.
Who?
Who's that character?
That's Friggy.
Friggy from 2.5 Friggy?
Yes.
She smokes.
Friggy who wasn't that gaunt?
Should I pull up what she looked like in 2.5? I hear you saying.
Seeing as it links into the whole like visual progression of a character, and yeah, like a little bit of a redesign going on. You should probably
there is. I can't file. I wasn't prepared for. Let's see. Can I just switch to? Nope. It doesn't let me switch fucking files. Okay.
Is the only canon image of her the one in 2.5 that Michael drew?
Yeah, she's in a couple of panels. All right, here it is. So this is her in 2.5, and I know our art styles are slightly different, but she looks different in chapter 3 on purpose. It's been several years. It's been like 9 years, so we'll find out why she looks so different.
Yeah, so that's her 9 years in the past, and then if we jump ahead to the 9 years hence, there you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Poor lady.
She's supposed to look much more gaunt. So there you go. You'll find out more about what's going on as you read. Gasp. Also, I'm pretty proud of this page. So buy my book.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yay.
I do have a panel where the silhouette smokes in the second Lost pages.
We're all gonna make all our characters smoke now. It would be a good change. Who smokes in? I don't think any character has been seen smoking in Connell so far. Huh.
You need to start having someone smoke to be one of the cool kids.
I designed a smoking scientist this week.
So he's not actually smoking a cigarette. He's smoking the shadow of the cigarette. He picks it up from the ground.
That's cool.
That's great.
He can't actually touch things for long. But he could.
So does that cigarette not have a shadow anymore though?
Yeah, it like disintegrates basically after he takes the shadow.
Cool.
It's pretty fun. This is actually the same artist as that wildcard stuff I showed, just all black and white stuff.
Yeah, you
like
pick really good artists.
I like the cartooning in the faces. It's very expressive.
Yeah, he's great at that stuff.
Yeah, drinking as well. Oh, okay, at least Connell has the heavy drinking covered.
Definitely have that.
With this.
Hey, it's a me. Yeah, I mean they got the same thing, right? You could tell that they're from the same world,
Yeah,
franchise for
more,
sure.
It's more setification. It's like a confluence of setification, pulling from stuff and themalizing the known thing, like ghosts and monkey and princesses and plumber. Monkey. But yeah, that's what I have. And the whole race of mushroom people. Yeah, the Mario franchise, it throws everything in the pot and says it's a me.
Yes.
It
is. Oh my lord. Hubba.
And another factor that I'm going to introduce now, character design, is creating a design where if you merge two of them together, it makes an even better design. Like making designs that are like a palette you can put on other stuff. This is Bowsette. Everyone get introduced to Bowsette. This is guess what? Phil, who do you think this character used to be?
Bowser?
Wow, really?
Yes. So the right.
Princess Peach?
They introduced like a crown.
This isn't a real character.
No, this is a fan character, but it's because the aesthetics they designed in this series are so iconic that you can just like play around with them, make the goth version, and it works. But yeah, this is they added like this crown that's on her head. I think it princessifies anything. It like peachifies anything.
Right.
And the way that it got used is they had like the little mushroom, the little female mushroom, and then she wore the crown and she turns into a peachified mushroom, I guess. So yeah, obviously straight away people put it on Bowser. So there's Bowsette.
I'm not mad about it.
Best character of all of Nintendo IP, Bowsette.
It might be.
Now I know.
Candy Kong is the best one to play as. No.
Yeah.
Who's the one with the little pony? See, Donkey Kong. They setified monkey. They put a monkey in a shirt. They turn monkey into Bender. They put him in a shirt.
You just has Todd. Sometimes he has sunglasses on.
Who Phil? You have to have the correct favorite monkey.
Yeah, it's that one you said I would be with the. Does he have a surfboard or something?
Yeah, Funky Kong. Okay, where is he?
When you used to stream, I remember when you used to stream.
I'm streaming right now, Phil. This is me streaming. I did a whole presentation and everything. Here he is.
Not enough.
At perfect scale. Funky
Yes. Yeah, so he's got the bandana. Awesome.
Yeah, they did Street Fighter, but with monkeys.
Yes.
Yeah, Funky. An ape. Yeah. Those are like all apes are monkeys, but not all monkeys are apes. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see if
Team Rocket.
Ooh. This one, yeah, I don't know how long you guys want to see. We're only at just past 2 hours. This hasn't been dragging on.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fun.
I have this here because it's the idea of designing cool team outfits, and I'm wondering if any of you guys have done this. I suppose because this was right next to the block one. Like, this is why these two. I was gonna talk about making an aesthetic, but we talked about it earlier, basically.
What can I actually show this? Well, I guess the
because it's literally back to the same thing we talked about. So maybe I'm doing a bad thing right now.
It's a what?
Doesn't matter. Carry on.
I was just gonna say, I guess the Burman that I showed is similar. It's like as long as you're designing a faction, you can give them similar looks.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up again because TC said no boobs. Now here's the thing: they're called Burr men. Are there no Burr woman?
There are, but I will embrace the sexist ways of classical fantasy and call them Burman anyways.
What are they? So the Burr women are still called Burman?
Yeah, but okay, so the standard, it's like how in Tolkien, the name for humans, the human race, is just men, and you can call, when you say refer to a woman, you refer to a woman, but the general term is men, and in Spanish, it's the same, so I embrace classical sexism. Bring it back. I was gonna show, I don't know if this will really show, it's tiny sketch, but here we go. Here's a reward for people who watch Creative Block. These are some of the art shamans that I've been designing. And cool. I'm very excited to get to this point because things get really cool and you get more people with powers. But this idea of this diamond shape. So if you've been reading Fiendish, if you've noticed this diamond shape, I've been carrying it throughout a lot of designs on the clothes and houses, and that's kind of this motif for the culture of the setting. And in different parts of the world, for example, Yomi is from Drakia, which is the south. Her clothes are different. She's kind of like Turkish. They're like soft and round, but in the kind of Viking and Russian-y setting, like of course it's a fantasy version of that, they have this motif that's diamonds. So a lot of the art shamans, first of all, they're dressed in like white and gold, and they have these diamonds all over them. And she has less of it, but a little bit right here. And he is a great character. Can't wait. But if you notice, his clothes don't look like any of the other characters because he's from the marshlands. He's completely different. He's darker skinned. He has these big loose sleeves, but he still wears a diamond because he's come to the land, their land, but his clothing is still from his home culture. So I love designing little details like that. Like you can tell from the details he's from somewhere else, but he's still one of the art shamans because he's wearing that diamond necklace right there. Oh.
Yeah, very fashion-y from
I do like fashion-y stuff, yes. But it helps. It helps your character designs.
But yeah, I suppose this one is definitely more of the fashion related with that we covered last week too. So I think I might just have like one.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is the last one. And like a lot of a bunch of today's points were kind of like pulled from video games because I think as you said before, Pear, the embarrassment of riches that manga has, video games has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to character designs because of the limitations they've had. Like they've had to be represented small, they've had to be recognizable at small scale, like off in the distance, that kind of thing. And like you can kind of take that idea and maybe when we're designing characters, not only do them as silhouette, but combine silhouette with the color areas and make them recognizable at long distances. Having pose in there too. But like I bet you guys totally can't read who these characters are.
I think I could. I think I could name them all.
Go on then, Phil.
You got Sanic,
Uh-huh.
Tomb, Lara Croft,
Uh-huh.
Spinal the Dragon,
Uh-huh.
Crash Bandicoot,
Uh-huh.
Mario,
Uh-huh.
Charizard,
Uh-huh.
the guy from South Park,
Uh-huh.
Kurtman, right?
Kurtman,
What, man?
A P.
Apu Nahasapina Papillon,
A piss.
A P. A poo.
Samus,
Uh-huh.
and
Here we
that.
go. Here we go.
Oh, the gay furry hentai character you were telling me about earlier, Jake.
No, you gotta actually see if you can guess who it is.
Bubble Guts. I don't know what the hell that
Bubble
is.
Gum. It's Bubsy.
Bubsy?
You know what
That's
Bubsy is? See, everyone else in the chat's getting
Who's
Bubsy.
Bubsy?
How could you not
gay
recognize
furry
his
hentai.
iconic red exclamation mark t-shirt? Yeah, Bubsy was he was like the hottest thing.
Yeah,
What?
fun fact about Bubsy is Bubsy 3D came out the same year that Mario 64 came out. And so the developers for Bubsy 3D, they were working like in silence. They thought they had this new technology that was going to blow everyone's minds, and it was 3D. They're like, "Oh, this is going to be so awesome." And it's the worst thing ever. And then they release it, and then Mario comes out, and it's like Mario is so good that it hasn't been messed with much. They got it right the first time, kind of. So they just got completely shamed and felt really sad.
Never heard of Bubsy.
Oh my god, Phil is the video game guy, the competitive gamer, the champion gamer, and he does not even know the Bubsy. I had a PS1 and I got that Bubsy 3D game. I will actually bat for it because I liked the visual style, but fucking hell, for sure that game was an absolute mess. Okay, I've gotta see if I can get this right. Caleb, I don't know if I don't think I have the sound effects set up. Hold on. Guys, is my voice changing?
No.
No.
Is it changing? Is it
No.
changing?
No.
Is it changing?
No.
It's not changing. It's not changing. It's not changing.
No.
Okay, hold on. Is it changing?
No.
No.
Is it changing?
No.
It echoed that time.
Did that code a bit?
Yes.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Right. It's Caleb, just for you. I'll try my best. Caleb Reynolds for $2. He says, Jake, do the thing. For $2.
Hey, it worked.
There you go.
That was
Ah,
nice.
nice.
Boo. I got it. I got it working.
Figure it out.
Now that's money. Now,
It's not working. It's not working.
no, I mean, now it will. Now that's money.
It's very low.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the echo up.
I say
I've
we
turned
start
every
with lower.
effect up.
Yeah,
That's
just
better.
talk like that the whole show.
Well, that's it.
And more. These aren't characters, but you guys want to see some demons? So this
yeah.
was fun. Maybe I should do like a creature design thing. There you go. Next week's episode probably will be creature designs on my channel.
Mushroom vaginas.
Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
designing the demons has been fun because we've seen like one in chapter 1. Well, no, we've seen a couple more in flashbacks, but it's been interesting because I want to design them looking like the same type of creature, but they're all supposed to have very different shapes because they're not the same species. They just have some similar properties. So I'm like, okay, they all have tentacles and their skin texture is the same. Other than that, it's fucking free range. So I've hold on, one more page. Yeah, this has been fun, and maybe I can talk a little bit about where the fuck is that page go? About doing all that. Like a full page of demons. There you go. There. So yeah, fun stuff.
Gnarly.
So you're gonna do
Looking
creature
forward to
design
that.
next week?
Probably.
Pause.
Yeah, I like creature designs and monsters. So this has been fun to figure. Oh yeah, it's like tentacles, the same skin texture, the faces, and there's another thing I've been doing is they all generally have splits in their skin, which I thought was nice and gross. So there's like their skin would split apart in different places, and sometimes there'd be a face in it, sometimes there wouldn't, sometimes it just looked like their skin is ripped, and I thought that was fun. So yeah. That's all.
Tango Silla says early designs or what we'll see in the book.
Don't know. We'll see. Mostly early designs.
Yeah, the splits in the skin. It's kind of like a character is constantly wounded, and there's not the idea that the wound isn't healing.
Yeah,
and maybe
I did want a very torture look with them, but yeah, that was fun to explore how to design a type of creature that didn't look like anything else. Like if you just seen one, maybe you could think, oh, this looks like this or that creature from another franchise. But if you've seen them as a total, I want something that is unique to Fiendish. So I can and like I love creature design. I could talk about the Apostles, of course, in Berserk, and then creatures and other fantasy stuff. The Tolkien movie, I'm not Tolkien, the Peter Jackson movies, or Lord of the Rings. Yeah,
be dope. Jake, I have another example of a character's design upgrading. A little bit.
Pull it up.
So I have it pulled up here. So you got in our newest book, The Lost Pages 3. This is kind of a spoiler, but the book's been out for almost a year now. Read your damn book if you guys have it. So here's Krim. So Krim's locked in Jazz's mind, and you guys have seen Krim many times. He's got the blue tattoos, the crazy, smoky, fiery hair, the eye markings on his face. So, spoiler: at the end of this story, he defeats King Loth, and because of that, he gets his crown, and then he's able to actually Jazz gets empowered in reality. And then he pops up around her in the real world and gets a crazy Golden King upgrade.
Very like Super Saiyan.
Yeah, and they make a joke about that as well.
He collects all the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, and he looks super dope. And this is how he looks in the real world when he transforms around her. So that little upgrade to his design. More powers unlocked for them, and going forward in the series, I'm sure we'll see this again and kind of the toll it takes on them. But it's a pretty distinct change from how they originally were, and it's not just a design thing; it's to their abilities as well.
So Phil,
yeah,
he's transforming around. So is she in there, or are they flipping?
Oh, she's in there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So what happened to her bones?
I think they're still on there.
Okay, hold on. I only bring this up because it relates all the way back to the very start of the thing.
There's ways to it.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah,
Waystore's a cool looking character.
Yeah, Waystore's pretty badass. Matt says LP3 was a blast. Thanks, man. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was super fun. Lots of action at the end. Crazy.
The reason I bring it up goes full circle.
Yes.
So have her arms been ripped out of their sockets in there?
No. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
What if I started the series differently and just only ever showed Krim, and then 4 volumes in, you realize there's a chick inside of Krim?
She has like all her bones ripped apart, and she's just like in there in pain.
It's not that gruesome. Her organs are still there, guys.
It's magic. That's all I need to know.
Magic.
Oh, well, that's it. End of the presentation.
Woo! Good job.
Seeing as I'll slip into the second half, and it's a good job you were talking about Lost Pages 3, Phil, because we can do a little promo as we hang out. Like, where's the little cat video? Here it is.
Hang out.
We are not going anywhere. We will be back in mere seconds. Don't go
Stay
away.
here.
What
We're
the
gonna
number
be-
drop?
Hey, yeah.
I'm glad the History Channel could bring us that.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm very grateful. Thank you, History Channel. History Cat.
Phil,
Hey.
speaking of
Hey, yo, we have I wasn't paying attention, but we got some crazy awesome news. I did do an update. So Jake, if you actually go to the updates, you can see some new pages and a sneak peek of the cover, which we're gonna have we're probably gonna show it next Friday. I'll post it. It's a little sneak peek there. Look at all those awesome colors.
a sneak
Great.
peek of the cover.
There's the sneak peek of the cover. It's going to be super rad. We're going to be showing the full thing next Friday and might be having the artist on the Diaz Brothers show to hang out and chat and talk about it and his amazing contribution to the comics industry in the last 37 years or whatever. But if you scroll up, we got new pages on the update. There's only 12 pages left to be colored. Eugene is totally killing it on here. He's finished that variant cover and 12 pages left. So I'm going to start lettering it up. It's going to deliver in a couple months in April, and we're going to be launching a Kickstarter for it very soon as well. I think we're going to be launching it on Bancroft's Friday the 31st. It's going to have the same stuff on it. There will be an exclusive signed variant by that artist on the Kickstarter, and then we're also going to have a different exclusive shirt for the Kickstarter as well. So if you guys already backed this, we're going to have a backer price on the variant, so it's going to be a cheaper shipping. So we'll just include it if you guys want that book as well. But if not, thank you guys so much for supporting us. This is going to be a really, really fun, action-packed, and gory one. And Jake, I know what you're going to say. He's not. Maybe he is. Maybe he's stabbing himself in the eye. Maybe he is stabbing himself in the eye. You guys are going to have to read it and find out. Well, I mean, he's got his GIMP mask on. Maybe he's into this. Was it safe?
If you want to find out how this guy is powered off the sadomasochistic pain that is brought by stabbing himself in the eye, and how why he decides to power up in such a way as he's about to be assailed by this young-looking Krem here, which is fun.
Krim, and that's Jazz too. So Krim and Jazz, they get, what did you call it? De-designed or devolved, whatever.
Yeah, demade.
So this is another variation of them. So you get to see them in their teenage years. In the first book, you saw them as like pre-teens. Now they get transformed into teenagers in this dream world. So this is kind of like the start of the big climactic ending. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, you know what? That is another whole character design thing of like, can you design characters that like still look like have a visual theme that tracks across their whole age? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Funnily enough, we just watched this episode.
Oh yes, yeah, that is so good. Yeah, that was a great episode. Dude,
This episode is so
good episode. Yeah, there's a really good episode of Justice League. I want to say it's in the regular series, not Unlimited, where Mordred
Morgan Le Fay's like bratty sorcerer's son from medieval times. He wishes that the world contained only children, no adults. So all the adults get transported into this like void, and they're all floating around. Everybody on the planet, even the Justice League. And so they have to do a spell to make themselves kids to go back to Earth to reverse everything. And they're all kid Justice League characters, which is cool. It's a great episode.
Sounds very fun. Hold on, they even did.
This episode was so great. Look at Tiny Badger.
Well, yeah, they got to do tons. Even Zoidberg got to go through all like a bunch of different stages.
Oh, the Zoidberg stuff is great. Zoidberg is kind of a secondary anything character, right? Because he's an alien. He's always doing unexpected things. And the joke is like his biology makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good, pretty good.
They did also do this on Family Guy, and I refuse to zoom in.
They had the same faces.
They did one episode which called Little Griffins, but
Aww. Less cute, but still.
Yeah, why not Zoidberg? Bender turned into a CD. He also turned into a UFO in the Roswell episode. That was good.
Very versatile character.
Okay, he's back. So I can't. Is there a thing to pull up for Vatican City? Because I have this. But is there a Vatican City related thing I could pull up?
For Vatican City, it's just like press releases. And Alex BRB said you could pre-order from one of the big comic shops, but I forget which one.
Yeah, I'm sure. What is it? Midtown probably has it.
Yeah, Midtown.
Everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to go to this because I think Marami posted that link earlier too. So
there you go. Yeah, the Dark Horse website has it.
On this link, and then, but you can go over to Paz eBay. But yeah, this is where you want to be. I need to stay awake long enough to call my comic shop and say, "Can you get every variant? And can I have every variant, please? Guys, collect every variant."
The variant's like badass too.
Yeah.
If you want to be like have the collector's items of pair lore, then you need these artifacts.
Yes.
Sorry, whoops. I don't know.
Jake became Shadow for a second, but
yeah.
No, I
am Shadow now.
Oh no!
I'm still his tails now.
Oh, the unexpectedness! I kicked Drake.
There you go.
That cover looks so good. Look at that light falling on his figure and how all the color and contrast is on him. That's a great cover.
Thanks. Yeah,
it's gonna be dope.
Little fun fact with that cover is I crumpled up some paper and scanned it to get the kind of like rocky texture in the background.
Oh,
cool.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's dope.
You know,
nice.
If you have access to a laser printer and you print out like that uses toner, and you just get a bunch of those sheets and like shove them in your backpack for like a month or something and really rag them around, they turn into perfect like layer masks for just worn paper effect.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
But it only with the laser printer. Inkjet, it wouldn't work. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it has to sell. It has to sell over 50,000, which seems like a tall order, but I am praying every night.
I think that's gonna be piece of cake. I think
I don't really
crumb cake.
I'm buying 600 myself.
There you go. Pear sinks his life savings into buying his book.
You launch a crowdfunding campaign for money for you to buy your own book. Join the pyramid scheme crew.
Yeah, embrace the pyramid scheme.
Embrace the pyramid scheme.
Yeah. Order a few and give a few to your friends.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a great book of Mark's too. It's interesting because it's 3 issues, and he'll usually do 4 to 6 would be like a trade. So it's almost like it's not exactly a short story. It's just really tight, really simple, and that's a positive thing. It's really fun. How
And
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for
did you
that.
do the art traditionally?
Yeah, yeah, and I got a ton of art to sell, but I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna figure it out. That's why I was asking you about eBay earlier.
Sell it on
Well,
eBay,
you
yeah.
know, if you need a way to get art sold out to people, just head over to eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell those
Hey.
pages.
I don't know if that-
Conventions. People like
Like-
buying art at conventions.
I'm wondering what I could sell it for too, because it's at least some of the really good pages. I'm hoping I could sell them for like 1,000 or like the covers or something. But
Yeah.
not every page. But
Yeah, it's a tough call because it's hard to set prices for stuff, but like an eBay auction, if you properly advertise it, like get the word out there, it can give the actual price of something, and it can be higher than you think. Like Bancroft's doing his auctions currently, and he was already surprised by how high that went. But yeah, there are certain things like a cover where you would just set a high price, and if
yeah, something that
hold
would
on
be
to it.
collectible, because it is the it goes up and down with what do you call it, if the speculators, And I
Sure.
was like, if there was a speculator, like that's almost what this book is. Like it's like a debut from a new artist, so you could get the covers, and then if I get famous later, you made a ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, I remember correctly that all of like Netflix bought all of Miller's World stuff, and all these new IPs just get developed.
Yeah, this is
With some kind of
yeah,
link.
that's all getting developed. Yeah,
But yeah, look, it says media tie-in.
yeah.
So if any of these books are going to become something, this would be one of the books that's going to become something. But yeah, so speaking of becoming something, she's gone.
Hi, I'm back. Hello. I dropped something. Yeah. Here's Fiendish, my fantasy book. Not really many new announcements other than work is progressing on Fiendish 3. And if you want to follow my progress on that, of course, I post on the blog and on Twitter, but also I've been making a lot of shorts on YouTube. So if you want to see my progress on Fiendish 3, follow me on YouTube. Look at my shorts. I've been filming a lot of my work as I pencil and ink pages. And of course, blog, email list, Twitter. Yeah, it's going well. I'm excited. I'm hoping to launch this summer sometime. So please sign up. Yes, thank you, Jake. Right there, the giant red bar. If you're not on the email list, even if you think you are and you're not sure, just put your email in there again. Doesn't hurt. Because if you're on the email list, you'll probably get something for free. I like to give people who sign up something for free. Usually it's a trading card. For my past campaigns, it's been an exclusive trading card. Dango Solo announcing the sign up for 3 yet. Right now, I just have the universal sign up, but I do think it'll be more enticing to have like a specifically chapter 3 sign up. That will be up when I have the cover colored. I need to color the damn cover first, and that has been coming along slowly because I have pages to do. I want to get a chunk of pages done so my colors could get started. So I stopped work on the cover, but the inks are done. Like if you guys go to the blog, you can see those finished inks. But yeah. Oh, I wanted to. Speaking of devolved characters, I should have thought to shout this out. But here's something enticing. Maybe if you are new to Fiendish and you still haven't, for some inane reason, haven't read any of the books, or if you have books and you haven't read them, I mean, that deeply troubles me because my books are meant to be read, just as Phil said. But Here you go. This is from Fiendish 2.5, drawn by Michael Rushbrook and colored by Jake. This is the 0.5 books. I write and do the layouts, but I have someone else doing the art and did a great job. So here are younger versions of some of my characters. Look, that's Nina and angsty teenage Casimir.
Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
earlier in the book, he looks even younger. Like we've seen him look younger in the beginning of Fiendish 1, but the whole chapter 2.5 is a flashback to Casimir's past. And a lot of the 0.5 chapters are flashbacks, so there will be a lot of devolved characters and exploring their backstories and stuff. That's the point of the 0.5 chapters. So, and you like the tilted pan. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. I thought that was cool. I was like, ooh, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I agree with that idea. And the next page is a little e-skull. There you go. So, yeah, be enticed to read my books. And if you would like to read the rest of this chapter, you can go to the website, fiendishcomic.com, that Jake just had pulled up. All the books are on sale there in the store. So go there.
Y'all, hold on. Y'all?
Y'all.
Is that I've started saying yas lately, and I don't know if it's a thing or if it's just something my system made up.
I think that's just a thing that you started doing. And
I thought it was a YouTube video. It's from that,
Is
or
it?
it's from like
okay.
gay guys
Yeah.
or something.
Oh,
It's on the store.
there you go. Look, books. There are 3 books now. 3 books out, chapter 1, 2, and 2.5, and you can order all of them, or you can read them digitally. All 3 chapters are on Global Comics, the best digital comics platform. So you can read them there if you have an account, or buy the physical books right here. Do it. You'll love it.
So you're getting a
marketing
preview ready for this book? When you said you're sending stuff off to your colorist, so you're like getting a preview thing ready?
Yes. So I am taking inspiration from what you're doing, Jake, for Carnal, having a preview on Global Comics, and that I've seen other indie creators like the Loogie guy have huge sections of their books online, mostly on Global Comics. So Fiendish 1, like half of it was for free. And then the other 2 books, I only had like 5 pages. But I'm thinking with Fiendish 3, I'm going to have I was thinking, the first 20 pages again. I don't think so. I think I've been looking at the pages and picking out big chunks of it that are really interesting to read. And I'll just make those for free. And I'm trying to get those done early. So the beginning section, I want to get those colored and lettered and just have those out online so everyone can start reading those snippets. Because I think that's enticing. And there's so much material. I'm not worried about spoiling things. There's so much more to come. And this is definitely one of those sorts where you have to read it. Like, I want the books to look good and stuff, but it's not just about the characters have a power, so that makes the story, that defines the story. It's about the character interactions. It's very world building and character interaction heavy. So you got to read it. I'm going to just have those pages done for the next book so you guys can look. But yeah, it'll be up.
Speaking of previews, next week on the show, I am going to we'll be closing the auction, but I'm releasing the first 8 pages of Carnal on Global Comics as a preview next week on the show. It's going to be great. Already, there's a new cover. There's a brand new cover, and I have original art of the cover too. I know I haven't had original art of the other covers because they were heavily digital, like very detailed. I had to print. Oh man, it was so much work. But yeah, there's a new cover, and I even drew it. Let me. Can I put Global Comics Hedgehog? Yes, there it is. And if you want to be ready to see it when it goes live, you got to go over to Global Comics Hedgehog. That is the studio name for my stuff. This is my company. We've got 7 followers already. Go over here and follow. and be ready for the first 8 pages. There will be another wave of pages. There'll be another 8. So that'll be the first 16 overall will be out there for people to read so they can be certain that the book is amazing and that they need to back. But yeah, so get ready next week. Preview of Connell, first 8 pages. And then when the following 8 pages are done, second preview will go up too.
Awesome. Look at that logo too. Look at that cool little hedgehog. It's adorable.
I love that. It's so good.
Oh, he's so
guy.
cute.
He's the edge.
You can hear that logo. He's like, yeah.
The sound of him gooning. That's what it is.
Yeah, he goons all day. So hedgehogs are the ultimate gooners. If you've ever seen a hedgehog's belly, there's kind of like a central belly button. It's not a belly button.
Uh-oh. It's a gooning device.
It's when then just combine that central belly button with ball form. Hedgehogs are essentially a one-man coom cave.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. No.
Hey, there we go. Let's see all the people drop. But yeah, speaking of coom caves, Connell the Barbarian, currency fluctuations keep happening. We did cross the 8K goal. So you will get the trading cards that came with that. We unlocked the Connell braces trading card. Hopefully, I might do a Kickstarter that could unlock the rest of these. That might be happening at some point. But yeah, you will get they'll have unified unlocks too. But yeah, if you back right now, you get these 3 cards for free: the Bloke Pregnancy Test, Truffles Club, and Connell's Braces. And there's other cards that come with the the various items on the campaign. It's 44 pages of comedic fantasy barbariana. Go check it out. And I'll pull this up again super quick. The pinned link at the top of the chat is the eBay auction for the big DD original art. You guys have been battling it out. So far, it's already up to 94 quid. That's crazy. This will close next week. So I'll embiggen. It'll close on the show next week.
Yeah. Look at that. Ha ha ha.
I don't know if I'll be drawing this is the DD piece, the original art. It's like Bristol board. It's like proper. It's like properly done. You know what I mean? I tried my best. I even feel you got Twist and Elegnar there. And when this finishes up, then maybe next week there will be another auction where a secret, speaking of character designs.
Well, that
my
piece is
god.
a full 11 by 17. That was huge. That's great.
It was
I'll have to bid on that one.
I will only sneak peek it. You can go see it on Twitter. But yeah, it was very fun doing a design for Brandon Phil.
Yeah,
I love it, man. I hope he liked his design. There's a non-Chungus design of his.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. I had to do the real design so that he could be Chungus-ified.
That's so hilarious. I love that.
Jake, you're a colorist. It should be colored. The price will go up. I think colored original art is gash. I hate when people do that. Gosh. Is that a good thing? Do people like colored originals?
If it looks really good.
Yeah, it depends. I've done it a couple of times, but I don't know. I don't have good Copics that'll really make it look good. So what else are you gonna use? Watercolor?
Yeah, like Copics. Oh, I suppose a colored original from Kelsey would fucking look badass. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It depends on the materials if you're good at it.
Yeah, Dan Dahl does crazy Copic stuff. So does Shelby. Shelby's insane with those Copics.
Oh yeah, damn them.
I just love black and white so damn much. I remember Connell was going to be black and white. And then obviously I asked the chat, what should it be colored? And they were like, yeah, color it, bitch.
Well, yeah, of course. They're always gonna. Same thing happened to Phoenix. Oh.
Oh, are you gonna do that black and white too? Wait, that means
Oh.
Rushbrook, his is a black and white. I might pull that up. Have you guys seen Rushbrook's working on his own thing?
Oh yeah, pull that up.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I'll pull it up. Michael, put your link to your. He has a sign up now.
The meme is up
I'll
too, by
shout
the
out a
way.
couple of other things.
Perfect.
Take Pair.
The meme is up.
Yes,
Alex's meme machine.
I'll show this super quick. But yeah, here's a panel of environment art that Michael showed of his. I think it was pretty good. I'm excited for his book.
Yeah, geez, that's so cool.
That looks
Hopefully we'll
awesome.
post
This is for the same thing he's been doing like promos for in that cover.
I think yeah.
What?
I think
No.
this is his. I think this
No,
is.
this isn't Dark Moon. This is
Really?
something called Phantoms. It's a separate thing. He's drawing for another person.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do remember I saw that.
But
Yeah.
you can go to darkmooncomic.com and he does have a sign up. So if you don't want to stay out of the loop when he releases his own project, Artist of Phoenix 2.5, then go get it. Okay, yeah, Alex for a B for $2. Now that's money. Meme is up. Small bonus meme.
Woo!
Go find it.
Yes, Alex pulls through again. The MVP. Thank you.
This
See
is
the
this is a very good bonus meme. I'm trying to drag it out. What is happening? I'm trying to get the image so I can explore it.
Bonus meme.
Ellie says that's all professional manga. Like, yeah,
Bonus.
love
meme.
it. Great style. I chose well.
Okay.
Sign
Here we go.
for Dark Moon. Ooh,
Here's
hey.
meme.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. The redesigns.
Dear, oh dear. What the fuck is that chicken? What is going on?
Oh yeah.
Oh
'cause
yes, you got the chicken.
What is that?
what is this chicken from?
That's
What's going
from
on?
So Irene kept saying Arise. What was that, Ghost in the Shell Arise or whatever?
Yeah.
And Jake, you don't remember Arise chicken. Arise chicken.
I remember
Chicken Arise. Chicken
Pear
Arise.
saying rise taint.
Oh, Arise. It's from
What is
Aquatine.
this satanic
chicken.
abomination of a
Oh.
chicken? Like,
Arise chicken. Chicken Arise.
And that's
oh,
good
Aquatine. Okay.
Arise.
So is this an Aquatine Hunger Force character?
Yeah,
guess
it's like
so.
the shaman guy summons this chicken and then it like squashes Frylock or something. Kills him.
Okay, chat knows and we don't.
We've been
That's
saying
all.
it at the office like for the last 2 weeks.
I actually feel ashamed that I didn't get a Aquatine Hunger Force reference.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Hey, look, everyone's owning me.
Arise chicken.
Your meme owned, your pop culture knowledge.
I like this wheelchair heavy.
Yeah.
Is this someone made it? Did you AI this? This is
That's great.
That's
They must
amazing.
have had that in the game.
It's not in the game. What do you mean?
I know. Doesn't Team Fortress do like
Goofy
skins
shit all
and
the time.
events and
Wheelchair
So-
skin.
as a
They might. I
joke
don't
in
know.
like a side, like a video or something? I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah. Maybe someone
in
on
the
the Source
fucking
Filmmaker on the Source Filmmaker workshop or something headed. Oh look, the very little Samus over here, right by
Yeah.
me.
Some Summers.
I like how you have an orange lab coat.
Is everyone
Oh,
else
yeah.
white? Oh no, you got your black lab coat.
Yeah, I have the goth one. Perfect.
I like the
Okay.
white one.
There's Jake's Unk. Look it up. It's a sex thing. It is a sex. I'll bring it up one day. I'll prepare. There's literature on the Ankh used as like redirecting sexual energies. Look, there it is. It loops around. It loops around. It comes back in you.
No one's ever heard of that.
You put it on the body at the right place at the right time when the right things are happening, and the energy, instead of escaping and going to the heathen dimension, it loops back around. You basically become like Egyptian Gandhi.
Arise. Arise, chicken. Arise. That was
So
me.
many
said
jokes
that.
I can make that I won't.
You just quoted it. Is a requote. You go normal.
Requote right there.
Behold, I will not explain.
She
Yeah, that
looks
was a
like
little
she's
tough.
supposed to be screaming at you about feminism or something. Yeah, that's exactly what that Arise design looks like.
Flanderization.
Yeah, themerizing 100%, flanderization 69%.
That's great.
These are the flanderized abominations. Are they combining into one character?
That's terrifying.
What is that?
Is
Homer
this
Sonic?
Ketchum Sonic?
Amazing.
He probably typed in Homerized Sonic and Sonicized Homer.
Yeah, there's somebody drew that. I'm
Now you just
assuming
need Homer's head as a Pikachu.
nightmares.
And upside down,
Copy.
borderline personality disorder bangs. Whatever her name is. Major. I've said on the show that I thought Major was like a guy that got crippled and they gave him a body and they chose hot woman body, right?
No. No, it's
as a kid, I was like,
explained.
why would the woman be in charge? There must be a guy in there.
Very funny. No, it's, I mean, I can
Damn.
nerd out about why she looks the way she does, but I won't. I will restrain myself.
She
Oh,
hot?
hey, the demon's on the wall. Ah!
Easter egg.
It's all white, too. That's because it was from my sketchbook. Cool.
Very good meme, Alex. Should we see
Yes!
do you want to see the backup meme?
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
So cute!
There you go.
That is the best!
This is the definitely a hedgehog. This is the hedgehog.
Hell
who I
yeah.
guess is also
That would
orange.
be so great if his full body design was like a little wizard with a wizard hat.
Yeah, he wasn't just a little fat ball thing like this guy.
Yeah. It permanently ruined your old design.
Yeah.
The new design is so much cuter.
Imagine this character, but he upgrades to have cool glasses. I guess scan that QR code, get a virus.
Yeah.
Probably takes you to eBay.
Yeah, it takes you to eBay. Well, thank you, Alex.
Perfect.
You rule. I guess ceremoniously, unless Phil wanted to bring something up.
Me?
You had this shed the whole time.
Oh no, that was just for my book.
Okay, yeah, that brings an end to another episode of Creative Block, episode 82. It was a very fun experience numbering this episode because of last week's episode was very well numbered. It was a very good experience, Pat. Thank you. I really appreciated it. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, good
what
show.
was last week's episode?
Fashion.
Oh yeah.
Fashion.
Who did
And
that?
then the character design is like a piggybacking off the fashion one. And then Irene's creature design is piggybacking off this one. So it's like you've got to do a designing something episode after that, I guess.
Yeah, we're all just being lazy and deriving our titles from the previous person. So good job, team.
Good job. Does anyone need to make the audience aware of anything happening in the imminent future?
Follow my channel. I'm putting out a lot of shorts. They go out every evening. Well, I've been doing every other week, but I might be trying to do more. Yeah, it's just about, honestly, it's about having enough art for the because it's not just me talking. But yeah, follow my channel. I'm working hard. That's all. And sign up for Fiendish. Thanks.
Yes, I got a stream tomorrow. We'll be talking about something. Probably nothing. We'll be talking about. And then I got another short dropping tomorrow as well. So
Diaz Brothers Friday show has reclaimed the throne from Art Share as my favorite show. I try to never miss it.
Awesome.
I love the the vibe you guys have with that show. So watch Diaz Brothers tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. I haven't seen Louis this week, so maybe I'll see him tomorrow to ask him a question for the stream. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And the next week we'll have a big reveal for the cover, and go buy some shell beans because they're flying off the shelves, guys.
When is Louis gonna ask you a question?
Phil,
That's,
how are you gonna feel when?
that's a good question.
Sorry, how are you gonna feel when Shell Bean becomes your best-selling product and makes you rich and takes off?
It's getting up there, man. We've sold like 6 of them or more, maybe.
You're like, am I even a comic creator or am I a Shell Bean creator?
Exactly, yeah.
You're just a shell bean salesman.
Yeah.
Phil, you need to make a label for a tin of shell beans, and you just print the label and put it on a tin thing, like and sell actual shell beans, repackage kidney beans as shell beans or something.
It could work. It could work.
I don't know. Maybe at some point the shell bean will have competition in the merch department from
Ooh.
2 slovenly brothers.
I'd like to I'd like to see
You
it
need a
try.
Phil. You got to sell shirts that say, "Would you like some comics with your Shell Bean?"
Well, we do have the shell bean shirt. Everybody could go get the shell bean shirt.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
nice.
Do it.
Flying off the shelves.
The shelves.
Perfect.
That's great.
That's right.
Noel, are you streaming again this week? Because you've been streaming recently, here and there.
I've been randomly streaming. Yeah, I'm trying to stream a little more. Get a little more free time. I got the light at the end of the tunnel with this big Miller job.
Sweet.
And then I don't have anything lined up. They haven't been beating down my door. It's not like Scott Snyder's like, work with me next. Do Batman. So I'm going back to doing my indie stuff and hopefully not go homeless. So
There you go. That's what we all want.
If you do go homeless, I'm sure you'll fit right in. Be great. Awesome. Well, thanks you all for watching. We'll see you next week, and I will be on Irene's channel, I believe.
Yes, it'll be on my channel, Creative Block. Same time, Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe later, because it's me hosting, so it'll be later. But yeah, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.